Hey, and we're live. Welcome. My name is Guerric. This is the Root Winter Tournament. We are on round two, game four. Game four. That's what I named the stream. Uh, Joining me today to commentate, we have Luke.
Hello.
Hopefully, they just heard you there. And then competing today, we have DZT, North Abbot,
Yellow.
Steve H,
Hey, everybody.
and Kook.
Hello.
Draft has been dealt. If y'all have any questions, you know where to find me. So, everyone, good luck, have fun, remember to breathe, and take it away.
Thanks.
I think chat's gonna revolt if they don't get lizards.
They will revolt if they don't get lizards.
Yeah, what do you guys want? Any preferences?
Whatever works fine, I think.
It was an interesting draft. A very interesting draft.
Yeah,
It's so different from the game that was earlier today, which was, all reds, and this is,
Yeah.
Reach here.
I mean, cats are high reach, but they don't always feel it in the way that they don't really actively police. So there's a world where we end up with
one Vagabond in the
a
game,
very low policing game if Warlord doesn't get picked.
which makes everything
Yes.
kind of strange in this game.
Lizards feels pretty good, except for the Warlord.
Right.
Map.
But if you can hide,
If you can
you're in a
hide.
good spot.
Any objections?
Which on the mountain you can.
It's your decision.
This is a mountain kind of day.
I know.
I like mountain.
I do too.
I'm all about this.
All right, I'm done for now. Fourth player is Kook.
All right, we are missing a mouse clearing. I think again. I think that was what was missing last time.
I'm
Yes.
thinking about the Reds, but I've never played them, so it will be interesting. Yeah, let's try that.
Yeah, baby.
Ooh, this is gonna be good. I mean, we had a Warlord win earlier, which was awesome.
That's true.
So
Although Warlord is going to have 1 to 2 Vagabonds to contend with here, so
choose
it does change the calculus a little bit.
It does. Vagabonds do have good questing opportunities on this map.
for warriors and
Yeah, Lost City is going to be real good for questing.
The Vagrant seems really good in this, actually. And the more it gets kicked down the line, that really helps it out. Getting to go earlier.
City.
That's not right, right?
It needs to be an edge clearing, doesn't it?
Yes. That is not the edge of the map.
There are 2 clearings that are not edges on this map.
And they have chosen one of them.
But hey, if they don't, I mean, they also don't have the Warlord there. They just have normal warriors.
Yeah.
I mean, if they don't catch it, they don't catch it. We've
Yeah.
only intervened one time. That's when somebody was getting the Badger set up very, very wrong. That one felt egregious.
Oh, I thought, okay.
Yeah.
It should be this guy.
I still don't love that we intervened there, but it felt like it was necessary because it was about to be so
Yeah.
wrong. They weren't even going to play
Yes.
root at that rate.
And therefore,
It's so hard because that one's like, I don't know if that helps the Warlord or not. I'm not sure. I almost feel it, but
I feel like it probably helps starting on that ruin, denying it from anyone
Yeah,
else.
the cards
Yeah.
are at the end, right? Not now.
it hurts cats a lot because cats would rather be in there.
Yeah.
Okay.
Wait a while if you want.
There you go.
Ooh. Gosh, I hope someone catches it. I hope someone's like, "Ooh, I'm gonna look over and see it."
I hope so, but I'm not. I don't have hope at this rate.
No.
Oh no.
Lizards before Warlord's really nice because you can kill the mobs before they activate.
The homeland is not adjacent to an enemy homeland, so be adjacent to rats. So I'm going to park myself in this corner here.
The issue with where there's the Warlord also where it sets up puts it closer to the lizards than it probably would be otherwise. Maybe, I don't know.
That one's more on in the hands of the lizards. They had a choice there, you know.
That is true. That is true.
What's it called? These roads.
I like that setup better. I like protecting or putting 2 warriors in that
Yes,
bunny.
I believe they do split the forest.
Yeah.
Because when they open up, they definitely do split the forest. So.
To be clear to chat, there are 2 ruin clearings that Warlord could have started on legally. So it's not
Yes.
it's not like it's impossible for Warlord to have started on a ruin. It's really more that passive pressure and denial of existing within that spot.
Yeah. What actually I think is the bigger issue is that the Warlord then can craft anything.
Yeah, that could end up
Turn
being
1.
huge.
Pin the map.
It's good you post these to YouTube for people to watch and be like, oh.
We'll pick the Ronin.
The Ronin!
Oh my
boy!
Uh-oh. If cats aren't picked, this is a bad.
Eat your heart out, chat. Ronin was picked.
That's the people's champion right there. Chat's just gonna be rooting for them.
Ronin has the secret win condition if it gets all 5 boots. Everyone knows that's legal.
Totally legal.
It's right here.
Oh, do I have to flip it. My pawn. Where's my pawn?
Man, that stinks for who is playing North Abbot, because like I bet he was wanting to take maybe Vagrant could have been a good option, but I think you have to take Cats, which isn't a bad thing if you got a good Cats hand. You've got.
I mean, maybe you gamble on the double Vagabond. I don't know.
The thing that's scary about that is the oppress could just go crazy.
Actually, that might be the biggest ramification of Warlord's setup snafu, is it puts them in the Lost City where Vagabonds want to go quest.
Yes.
Whereas previously they would have to move and set up there.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go ahead and shuffle this quest deck here.
Jerem, we can't. It's got to be the players.
With Vagabond as well, because I just don't like the cats, and I think there's going to be too much competition for those building slots. So yeah.
Competition for the items. No.
Yes and no. I don't know.
Oh my gosh.
it
Oh
feels
my
better.
gosh. Oh my gosh.
To me.
We have double Vagabond Warlord.
We have double Vagabond Warlord. Oh no, what is this game? Oh, I'm going back to bed.
Yeah.
Put my pawn in any forest.
Oh,
Wow.
With
I'd be
Oh,
terrified if
boy.
I'm Steve H, because it's going to be like, I think Warlord's just going to go blow him up and then move on.
Oh, this is a cursed game.
This actually is. I don't think earlier was as cursed. Like, this is truly cursed.
Yeah.
in this forest.
Can we
let's
change
see.
the color?
Is there a way that lizards are able to... I feel like it's just going to be so hard.
Do we mind if I change the color?
Oh, this. I don't even know how to evaluate this game.
Well, we get to show and look at this all together and see how bad this is.
Quest deck, draw 3 quests, put the 4 ruin items, yeah. Put my side character in the slot.
After the draft. Okay.
S items in my satchel, relationship markers.
The Vagabonds have to realize, because they chose these, they have to do the thing, the policing. They can't be like, oh, no, we're running around just doing our thing. No, you have to police. You
I
have
hope
to.
so. I hope so. Because otherwise Warlord just wins, just like flat out.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm just always worried about rats.
Yes, you should be worried about rats.
I like the pink eyes on the Ronin. It's a good color scheme.
Guerric, am I correct that Steve H is the only one who's won so far?
We actually have 2 round 1 winners. I was going to talk about it
Oh.
more. Let me.
Loot instead of battling. And I don't know, like, it takes item from crafted items, so I guess I cannot steal the items from Vagabond.
Yeah.
No.
Can I?
No.
No. Okay.
No.
That'd be awful.
And likewise, the Vagabond cannot aid from the Warlord.
And we can't steal
Yes.
items from you, which is just rude.
AJ squared, yes, rats are meant to start on an edge clearing. This is a rules error. We're not intervening, so this is on them to catch, and they have not caught it.
They will know at the end.
They will know at the end.
I'm done setting up. I just need to put my little victory point marker on the map. Ronan, you can go ahead and put the black one on there, and I'll put the white one.
Okay.
That makes the most sense to me.
Oh, looks like we got to do some special.
Yeah,
for
we're
the
going to have to do
2BB.
some special stuff, and if you could help me with that,
Click,
Yeah, okay, I'm reading.
and we can draft hands.
we'll handle all that after they hop
Yeah.
out.
Okay.
Alright, so let's draft our hands and secretly put all our cards in the draw pile.
So yeah, while they're doing this,
Question. There's about the cards. Like I have this contempt for trade that I cannot get the score the points listed on the card. But if I have master engravers crafted, would I get that point for that card? The master engravers would, like, it says whenever you craft a card, score 1 extra point.
I think you do.
Sorry, what was the question? Can you-
If I craft the card, if I get the extra point from master engravers.
Yeah, it seems like you do. Yeah, I definitely think you do score that point. You
Okay.
score no listed points on the item, but yeah,
Yeah, exactly.
score that extra point just for.
all right, they figured it out.
Once we are done drafting hands, go ahead and put them face down on the table. And then
Can I move this quest?
we can leave and come back.
Can I move the quest somewhere in the middle so we can both?
Yeah,
look
yeah.
at it?
We'll.
We need to leave at the same time, or can we just walk? Can I
You
walk
can
out
just
when we're
log.
done?
Pretty
Okay.
sure we just all need to
Okay,
log.
dude.
Make sure you hit done before everyone leaves, though.
It's here.
Oh, you
So-
click
Uh,
before everyone leaves?
Yeah, North Abbot, you're gonna have to come back in and hit done, and then we can.
And then everyone needs to.
Yes.
Oh, okay. I thought you said it the other way around. That's okay.
Do the hokey
come back.
pokey and you turn yourself around.
So what we need to do, so we need to put both white VP markers on the track, and
Yeah.
then I'll turn one into the Vagabond 2.
Yes, and we can change their
Okay.
states to fix their colors. But who's
Ah,
leaving
okay.
now?
Oh no.
God damn it.
Disconnected.
Everyone come back in. You don't leave yet.
Oh, okay, sorry.
It's okay.
I'm gonna ask a question before we play, but how are we going to look at the ruins?
I'm going to create a hidden zone that you two will be able to look into.
Okay. So now we leave, right?
Yep, now you go ahead and leave and rejoin.
Okay.
Luke, have you left and rejoined? Because you're probably going to need to as well. Yeah.
Yep. I'm gonna do it 1 second.
I forgot to sit in a seat. Chat, y'all will bet when it's time.
They are excited.
Okay. Sit here.
Guerric, do I need to join a seat to help out with this VV stuff?
Yeah, I think we're actually going to need to hop out of seats and then have them start the recording. I think it's...
Okay, second, of course.
Orange. Okay.
I need to make... How did I do this before for the hidden zone? Did I make them on the same team or something?
I can't remember actually how you did it because I don't think I was in that game. Okay.
Did I make 2 different ones? That doesn't sound right. Like 1 per player? Okay.
Wait, there are 2 white Vagabonds. I'm using the black one.
Oh no, sorry. Oh shoot, I need to.
That one.
Garrick, you want to tell them to?
Yeah, I'm getting in there right now.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and delete my black.
Real quick, before anyone does any of that, could somebody hit start recording on the little thing on the left side of the table?
What?
Which side is the left side?
Start recording. Okay.
There we go.
Perfect.
Oh, is this track stats?
Yes, it does. And let's see, where'd the other VP marker go for the Vagabond?
I don't know where it went. It disappeared. I feel like all
Where'd it
moved.
go? Oh no.
I didn't move it.
Oh, maybe I deleted the little black one that was next to my board. Maybe it deletes both of them.
I believe it's supposed to use the 2 white ones.
Oh,
Oh no.
that's weird.
Oh, apparently it broke.
Oh yeah, we'll have to go back.
I can try rewinding to bring it back. Well, let's try it.
Just duplicate one and change it. Change both.
I'm not
Give
sure
the
that
people
it'll
power.
the stats correctly.
Oh, okay.
I think
And they
that's
break
the
it.
concern here.
Yeah, I'm trying to see what the stats person says. Can we just spawn a new one, Arcanine, or does it need to go back? Luke, can you
Okay,
clone it
copy.
and rename it?
Yeah, let me.
Sorry, everyone.
And
This will
just
just
do I
take a
need
second.
it? Okay, and then I just do I rename it to Vagabond 2? Is that how it needs to be?
Yeah, what should the exact naming be?
Yeah, I just wanna
Arcanine.
make sure.
Vagabond 2 VP, got it.
Okay.
And then we can change its state to pink.
Oh yeah, my is missing.
That reset its name. There we go.
Go back. Okay.
And then Luke, you and I need to hop out. And can somebody
Yep.
hit reset recording and start recording on that thing?
Yeah, that'll do. Reset.
And then start.
again.
Yep.
Okay.
Perfect. Thanks so much, everyone. Sorry about that.
Oh, did the Vagabond thing disappear
All right,
again?
so who is the pink one? I'm the pink one?
Did it disappear again?
All right. Cool.
Wait.
What?
Putting my white one. Disappear
no.
again.
Oh no. Go.
All right, never mind about the recording thing. Let's just clone that.
Oh no. So we're not gonna be able to record all those things.
Yeah, we'll just have to record stats manually today.
That's too bad. Sorry.
I'm sorry. All right, that's handled.
I think so for future games, I think it's best not to delete any of the Vagabond markers.
Yeah.
Because I think I caused it when I deleted the black one that was next to my board that I wasn't using.
It's no worries, though.
Okay.
I need to turn turns on, and then I think y'all are good to go.
All right.
Oh, did you
Yeah, RK, please do not delete. Yep.
put out the multi-state ruins from the second Vagabond in the bag, and then you're good to go.
Okay, how do I... All right, so we go ahead and flip these that are present on the board right now.
No. There's a bag full of more ruins over here.
Oh,
Just put them out randomly.
Okay, so
You don't need a Warlord Zone Love Shard.
one there.
Do you? I guess you do, don't you?
Yep. So, yep, deletion is
One
bad.
there.
So we do
Just
not
putting them on
auto-promote
top.
people right away.
I don't know if that's the right way to do it, but I think that's right. I've never worked with these multi-state ruins before.
The white gauge is my bad.
Okay, am I good to go, Guerric?
You are good to go.
All right. So can you just run me through when I do look at a ruin? How does that process go?
Just grab the 2 pieces that are stacked on top of each other, pull them into your colored box, and then you can look at both of them, take whichever one you want, turn the other one back into a ruin, and put it back on the map where it was.
Okay. All right. Sounds good. Thank you. I'll go ahead.
One day we'll play Root.
Well, now we know. We don't delete, and then everything will be good.
Yes. And also,
Mr. White.
Double Vagabond Warlord is a cursed game of hidden zones.
Oh, yeah.
Over here.
This is, I mean, this game's cursed. Do we really need to have stats on this one? That's the real question.
Yeah, I mean, this one's not going to count.
Over here.
This one's getting scrubbed from the records immediately.
Take another one over here. And all right.
That might be easier Grand Tap, but not everyone knows TTS very well.
Lily, we need stats. Ah!
To number 2. To see the item.
Actually, also, does that really tell you what it is?
Okay. Number 2. Ah.
That's kind of a problem that you can just peek at what they are by right-clicking them.
Uh-oh. That's not good.
Yeah, that's not good. That's a problem.
Oh, hey, Guerric, you're still in a seat, by the way.
God, thank you. Yeah, someone should tell that to Slug and S. That's not kosher.
Okay, that makes sense. Let me take.
Make sure to turn it back to ruin before you turn it to the tip to double.
So, how do we see the Warlord not winning this game?
If the whole table spends the whole game harassing the Warlord,
And
maybe Lizards win.
back over here.
There's a consideration for Lizards
All right.
because the Outcast will always be active in the Lost City to convert if it's hated to convert some of the Warlord warriors and then them all be punching everything and just go murder
Thank you.
the Warlord turn 1.
Just getting in the
That could work.
I realize I haven't played the Vagabond in a while here. Let's see, move. Let's aid somebody. I'll aid the. Let me go ahead and move into this lost city, and I'll aid the hundreds.
Why? No. Oh
So
gosh.
you have to what's it called? Exhaust your items.
Yeah, I'll exhaust my sword to aid, and then
Aiding sword.
for car,
I stab you with friendship.
go up one more space.
Yeah.
And I go up on the relationship.
I don't think they should aid
track.
sword. I think they should fight with the sword. Slash.
I think I'm done. So I will go ahead and
I mean, I probably would have preferred aiding the Lizards, but at the same time,
Yes.
there's only so much you can do if your cards don't match up.
Yeah. The thing with if you're able to pad the Lizards, like then Fear of the Faithful doesn't hurt them as much. Because if you give them like 7 cards on their
Right,
turn,
right.
they burn 2, then they're fine. Like Fear of the Faithful hurts when you don't have enough cards. But maybe the Warlord just runs around the right side of the map and never goes towards Lizards.
Maybe. I don't remember if I ever said this, but we have 2 players in this game who won their round 1 game. They are Steve H. and Kook. So we will have at most 2 eliminations. If one of those 2 players were to win, then DZT and North Abbot would be eliminated. If DZT or North Abbot win, then we'll have 3 people advancing to round 3 and only 1 person eliminated.
Okay, so.
And then we get 5-player root games in round 3.
Oh, yeah.
Gotta practice, people. Gotta be ready.
Hammer from that ruin. That's pretty nice.
That is very nice.
Okay, I'm gonna pay this card to remove the road.
Oh, hey, look, we're using paths.
Love it.
Today.
I love it. Vagabonds are very good at removing paths because they don't typically need their cards that much.
Yep. And
Oh, lizards are scoring. Cool.
Ooh,
Cool.
I like it. Give the lizards points.
Yeah.
They need it.
Moving my Lizards VP there.
Oh, yeah, sorry. I'm
If
I'm
you,
used
if you
to
want to
being.
give me 2 points, I'll take.
Okay, so I'm going to. Let's see. Exhaust a boot to move here.
I think the scary thing is we don't know what obviously yet is in the Warlord's hand.
I will
Right.
But-
exhaust the hammer.
If they're able to start crafting some good items right
Mhm.
away.
Oh, I mean, speaking of good
Oh, a
items,
T. Ooh.
I mean, I absolutely see why DZT went Vagabond with a T in
Yeah.
hand.
And honestly, in comparison of Ronin versus Vagrant,
2 points.
if you're going questing, you've got more items to start out with the Ronin.
It's true. That's true.
So
So I draw one.
you have
Though
a
it's-
little bit more to do.
I mean, that said, if there were other factions on this map besides just Lizards and Warlord, like if
Yes.
Cats were in here, Instigate can be very lucrative for Vagrant.
It is
Yes.
on Rabbit.
Hard thing I think is that probably
Discard the loss,
DZT
so-
was like, there has to be cats picked after this.
Right. I mean, I think everyone would have expected Cats to be picked
Okay.
and would have kept that in mind when drafting.
But North Abbot chose violence and curses and wanted the game to be like fun and interesting. So I applaud them.
Rabbit.
I knew this was streamed and they wanted to show a cursed game.
Thinking here. I'm going to pass on that. Move to my daylight
I thought they were passing their whole turn there first.
Yeah, I was
to reveal a money card
Okay,
to
cool.
award.
This is a good start so far for Lizards. I like this.
And reveal 2 blue cards
I don't like it.
Oh my.
Don't
I
like it.
like that.
into my
Oh my.
acolyte.
We're not getting a turn 1 draw.
2 sacrifices.
Ugh.
I mean, oof. Yeah, I mean, not setting up a draw, not setting up a second suit of gardens, just getting some acolytes.
Yep.
I can craft.
I mean, I
For a
guess-
turn 2 convert of the Warlord. Just convert all the warriors and then
Yeah,
fight.
so that's my question. Like, how much is that actually good to harass the Warlord? Is there a world where that's true? I mean, conventional logic is just out the window
Yes.
with this faction mix.
Race.
I think it would do something that turn and then nothing the rest of the time.
That's kind of what it feels like.
Because converting's really good when you because in a way it's like it's a self-cycling
I have to choose different-
resource because you convert a warrior, they fight the warrior, you lose the warrior, it's back as an acolyte, and you just keep getting that. If it's a 1-to-1 with Hayden, but
Let's go for Rowdy.
for this, I don't know how well it's going to be because
Rowdy.
unless you get the whole tail, like, hey, we're going to go punch.
Crafting. So let's craft.
Warlord did only recruit
This
once.
nice shoe.
Love shard.
Okay.
Uh-oh.
No,
What
you
are they?
put it in
Oh,
the-
oh.
Oh yeah. Hmm?
I love how even with the giant Discord blocking Dan, people will still try and put cards there. Like I've
Yes.
seen people absent-mindedly pick up the lizard, move it, and put the card underneath it before they realize what they're doing.
That's so funny.
So what do you guys have?
Well, they've got one more command. which is nice, but not as good as prowess. But
Did Warlord miss a recruit? Did Warlord only do the one
they did.
warrior?
Yeah,
Okay.
they only did one warrior. They should have two, because they should have gotten one for their prowess, one for the stronghold. I like the Rowdy, though. Rowdy turn 1 is good. It's been a nice opening we've seen.
Yeah.
Yeah, move 3 guys.
I mentioned this in the earlier game, but that's been increasingly common throughout the tournament.
Warlord could move into that bunny to get the extra card, because lizards aren't going to fight you.
And then I'll...
I'm not sure I follow what's happening here, unless we're setting up for some sort of like crazy triple in sight.
Right now, they're only scoring 1 oppress because of the Vagabonds where they are.
Right.
Now, should I battle you?
You could get really hurt. What's crazy is this could be where the Ronin's ability actually matters. Because they could get, if they rolled a 1/1 or something, they could they could activate their extra hit.
Let's be friends.
Okay, they didn't, but it could have killed the Warlord that turn.
And now it's evening, so I'll incite.
Battle him. Battle him.
So I'll spend a card to place a mob. Yeah, okay. So let's spend this dominance and place.
You'll want to battle him soon, though. He has that root T just. He's gonna spiral out of control very soon.
That could have been so bad though. With that one warrior with the Warlord, it actually could have killed the Warlord. There.
Right, right.
I hope this round can be friendly. So, and that's one. Or maybe it should be better here. Yeah, let's put it here. Have it. Okay. I think I'll just
Cursed, Pliskin. It's cursed.
should I leave it like that?
Also, I've just discovered that
I'll leave it like this.
it's super easy to cheat with
I'll
ruins,
leave it like that.
and I'm not happy about it.
So
Yeah, I had no idea that was a thing, and I
do
feel
press,
I feel scared in a Vagabond game that they can just be like, oh yeah, I'm looking.
without any. I want.
I guess you should be able to see if they're doing that though, right? Because you'll see the hand go over stuff.
No, because they're not alting. They're just right-clicking it.
I always need to look up.
It's completely untrackable. And that's a problem for normal VB too. It's not even like a double VB thing.
Have 100 piece and no enemy pieces.
Yeah, we need to get that fixed.
I think the
Yeah.
Vagabonds count as pieces, so
Yeah. So
yeah.
just one.
just the one.
Yep,
Good, good.
just that one.
And now I draw one card, and I have
I guess that's true. You can see their hand hovering over the ruin, but you have to be
one extra.
Yeah, that's what I
attentive,
guess. That's
attentive for that.
He's so
No, Katara, it's not a thing that's happened, but
2 cards for me.
at least not that I know of is a thing.
Uh,
Like, that's a lot to keep an eye out for is the problem.
You can go.
Yeah. Ronan, are we agreed we just want to take out all of these mobs before he can get any items, right?
Yeah.
Or
think we
just
have to.
grab the items from under him before the mob can
Yeah.
take our ruins, right?
Mhm.
Coconut Tank, I just did it a few minutes ago. I can show it again right now.
I think, well, since you took that hammer there,
Oh, I could before.
I think...
I don't know why I can't now. Oh, I guess I was in a seat before, that's why.
yeah. You're not in a seat right now. We won't be able to let
Because
you.
I think I know where I want to go.
I don't think I want to
No.
go there. I think you should go there.
So right now, these quests look really good for Ronin.
I'm
Actually,
more worried about them taking over, getting too powerful.
they've got access to 2 of them,
Yeah.
and
And not
Vagrant doesn't.
not far off from the third, really. Like
Yeah,
just
not
one more
far
sword.
off.
I like our
Which they
guys,
should get.
so we shouldn't be
Right.
hard on them, but I think we should check them once. It's harder for lizards to do that, so I think the rats should do that when you can.
Yeah, I completely agree. But yeah, I'm also scared about you. You are so close next to me. And I wouldn't like you to enter my velocity.
We're just planting gardens, prayer
Yes.
circles and stuff, lizard things.
Yeah.
Steve H is being good about proactively being like, "Hey, Warlord's a problem."
You, I think you should go get it because I made a mistake and I crafted too soon because my satchel is full now. So I need to find a bat. And I can honestly tell you that
You're saying that's not a bag?
Yeah.
Okay.
And I need the bat.
I'm confused. DZT's saying they crafted too soon. They crafted the T, which doesn't count against the satchel limit.
Indeed.
Yeah, it doesn't.
Indeed.
They have an extra slot still. I think maybe they don't understand that. I wonder if this is one of their
I was
earlier
thinking,
Vagabond
trying to
games,
think
maybe?
What is gonna be the best for me here? I think he's. So is it
Oh,
I mean-
yeah, if they're talking about questing, yes, you're
I
right,
guess that's
Willie.
fair.
one of his like powerful items, like a sword, sword hammer type thing?
No, it is not.
It's not one of his powerful items. Then I might be okay with just letting him have it. Maybe. Oh my goodness.
So does the Warlord get both those items, Guerric, then? If that burns?
No, the Warlord looks at them and takes one of the two, the same way the Vagabonds would,
Okay.
which is a change from the print and play
Slip
for anyone who is following along.
right here, and grab just grab this other item that I left last time. It's a hammer.
Ooh.
Nice. Both hammers are out.
Sorry, let me refresh. my-
Ability to craft.
Yeah, Goiki Blue. The print and play gave them both.
Fool. So refresh, slip, and then I exhaust my torch to get that hammer, and I will.
You get one.
Yes. Thank you. Thank you. Appreciate it. And I will exhaust my hammer in this rabbit clearing to craft a boot. Boom. So I'll grab
Items are going away from the ability for the Warlord to get. So that's
Yeah,
very
they're
nice.
disappearing fast.
a point.
And also, boots are gone, which is really good because that would help the Warlord out a ton to be
Yeah.
able to get more boots and not knock out more moods.
Yep.
1, 2, 3.
So now the Warlord is going to be forced to have to grab different types of items and lose more moods. It's cursed game.
You know what? I'll just stay in my current.
The lizards really need to get these gardens out because
just
one,
as
they're not going to be able to craft really. Two,
I'll draw
they
2 cards.
honestly are in a really bad position when they craft because the Warlord can go get their stuff right away.
Right.
Oh man.
From the items.
I mean, I feel like Lizard's only shot is just race as hard as possible while interacting when they can, and that means getting those gardens online ASAP.
Yeah.
And a hand of 2 birds is not good for that.
No, not at all.
Will exhaust the torch, and I will see what's inside. So doing this item here. And I grab my bat. Let's go 1 point.
CVH opening a wrapper?
I don't know. You got to get that energy bar going.
What does the rat do?
All right, I'm hoping the Vagabond now moves over and grabs that mob.
Yes. mob up and then you take it with them. This is one of the games where mobs really do work out well to a most extent at the beginning,
Right.
and you can go into bitter. We've seen a lot less mobs being used though in games with the Warlord.
Yeah, the meta has been shifting away from them. I kind of think maybe a little too much, but I totally understand why it has been. You know.
Yeah, it's a lot of free points, but if you're able to use it right,
Yeah.
it works out
I'm
well.
thinking I should have slipped into one of his clearings just to.
It's a nice toolkit though against like Woodland Alliance and lizards
Mm-hmm.
in like mid or late game scenarios where you just need to stop them.
Even against some other factions like moles or
Moles, yep.
cats, if you just go and squat on top of the mob and protect it, it can be very potent.
That
Yeah,
was my bad.
it's definitely a bit good. Like, I'm gonna sit here and destroy these buildings of yours,
Yep.
and you can't do anything about it.
I think I'm going to craft. I'm going to craft this crossbow.
All right, crossbow's gone.
Okay.
Proceed. So I'm gonna exhaust my hammer. And
That's the best thing about the Lost City for any of these vagabonds. They're able just to go in there, craft what they want, and just move out.
Yep. I don't think we've gotten a point for that yet.
No, I don't think so either. The weird thing about the Warlord's move also, for where they moved, if they move to the right side, like the vagabonds aren't running over there. There's no reason for the vagabonds to leave the center of the map. Like
Right.
they're gonna be questing, they're gonna be aiding, they're gonna be doing all their stuff
okay,
right
so I'm
in
going
these
to
like middle three
exhaust my
clearings.
to move here.
And so they're not going to get a press points until they leave and run over there. So we'll see what if the
I'm
Warlord
going
thinks about
to-
that.
Exhaust the crossbow to strike.
Oh,
Okay.
So, what do you think? Is killing the warlord here better than killing the mob?
Oh,
Okay,
ouch.
so you're hostile.
I'm thinking, I think the mob is the better play because the thing about the Warlord is, yes, it hurts them
Okay.
for like a little bit, but they're only getting one warrior from the Warlord right now. And that's action economy that you could halt for the rest of the game.
Right.
I think the mob's the better play here, actually.
I think so too.
Nice.
3-1.
Okay.
Okay, so I
So is that?
So, Solomon, the faction unpicked was the cats.
scored 2 points, right?
That's
Oh,
bad.
I didn't. Did I score for my?
Oh, that's true. He doesn't get the mob. There's two warriors there.
Yeah, he is. There's two. I didn't see that.
Um,
So yeah,
Yeah.
I guess in terms of you
I
can't.
think you did
You
score for
weren't
the
hostile
crossbow.
yet, right?
I was at 4. I explored. That's 1. I crafted the crossbow, and
Oh,
it's 2
crafting, yeah.
for. It's 2 for that fight, right?
No, it's just 1 for that fight because
Nope, it's two.
just removing 1 warrior.
Oh yeah.
No, it is one. You're right. Oh my god. I'm so flustered by this whole ruin thing. I'm all out of sorts.
Yeah, no, there's a lot of stuff happening.
Confused here. So
It's been a weird stream. We had to figure out the vagabond thing. Now we got all the.
white pawn.
Yeah,
pink
the
square
black
marker?
pawn is the white score marker. Yes, correct.
Okay. I think I had it backwards. I was a little confused.
Wait,
It is a little confusing.
why does it have pink eyes?
My vagabond to be pink.
Why give the Ronin pink eyes if you're the white seat?
Yeah. Oh, they're changing it back. Okay, good.
Yeah, coconut tank. You can post clips fine.
It's alright. Yeah.
Uh-oh.
Okay.
If someone wants to just send that over to Slug and S or something,
Mouse.
the sooner they see that's probably the better.
Yeah. We'll get it all fixed and everything. Well, Outcast is now mouse.
Right.
Not really good, but
Yeah, not getting anything for lizards at the moment, except for, oopsie,
Conspiracies.
except for maybe a crusade over. There we go. A crusade over to the bunny clearing.
yeah.
I really want to get the other vagabond, but I just don't want both these vagabonds to run away. So I'm gonna crusade. I'm gonna spend
Oh.
Going after a vagabond.
move.
Okay.
Like I could like this just to get some forces in here before building gardens,
Battle the
Yeah.
vagabond there. Is there an ambush?
but I don't like the battle.
No ambush for now.
Yeah, you don't have. Yeah. Huh.
Oh, I needed to damage one item.
Yeah, you don't have to battle. Well, they rolled a 0-0, so
Nice.
All right.
0-0. Okay.
that probably is better for them, honestly.
I agree.
Let's see, and we'll do a conversion as well.
What?
I'll spend 2.
Oh gosh, those are
converts
those are really
in the
expensive
city here.
things that are happening.
Granatapi is not defenseless. No, he picked up a sword.
Sweet.
All right, move to daylight. I'm going to
See a mouse.
card.
Well, we've got 1 garden
Good.
or 2 bunnies. If we have 2 bunnies, that'd be great too.
Go.
We only drew 1 card, so we don't have 2 bunnies.
Well, they had the 1 bunny originally, so they could have drawn another
I want to
bunny.
reveal 3 blue cards.
Oh no!
No.
Oh gosh.
Clear a pass. And I have to spend a card in my daylight. Do I have to do that before I revealed it?
Yes.
Yes,
Okay,
because
so-
you cannot spend from your if you have if it is
Okay,
something.
so I'm going to hold.
Wait, what was the
I'm
question?
going to reveal 2, and I'm going to hold this back for a second to use that.
They want to.
that.
They want to
Reveal
use
2,
one to
put 2
open a
acolytes
path
in.
out.
Got it. You know
They were
what? I
trying to see
support
if
that.
They could get. They were trying to see if they could use
Use it
for
and
both,
spend
which
it.
you
I got
can't,
it. Yeah.
because you don't get it back, which we both. Yeah. We
Yeah.
know. But
I like this though. I like. You don't need that extra acolyte. I like
No,
getting
you
a
don't.
point. That's good
Yep.
stuff.
just get the point. Smart choice.
Cards to my hand.
Oh, that really hurts though.
Uh,
I'm curious. Did they have 4 birds in their opening hand
craft anything?
and a bunny?
There
Or-
are some people who feel that it's good to hold on to birds as lizard. I think it's very wrong, and I think we're seeing exactly why.
Mouse
Yeah,
is wild suit for crafting.
Not to say that
craft that using-
that's what happened to Steve H. Steve H. might have had 4 birds, but
Unfortunately, you can only use your bunnies to craft.
mice to craft.
Actually, it's mice. Mice.
Sorry,
It's
your,
on.
Nice.
your mouse.
Mouse.
That's-
Okay. Yep. Yep.
Yeah, sorry, I'm a little.
Yes, it is the sad thing about the lizards. You do it all, one or done.
Places, both on your board and.
But yeah, no. Back to what you were
Oh, sorry,
saying,
I moved
Garrick.
it on
The
board. Yeah, it should be here.
you really want to go all suited. Like lizards
Yeah.
love an all suited hand, and they're just like, oh, this is great. I
Yeah.
can do everything with this.
I mean, because in a lot of ways, you can think of a recruit as a delayed acolyte. You know,
Yep.
you're getting that board presence, and then one day it's going to become an acolyte.
Yep.
Okay.
And if you get birds at some point, it's nice for getting dominance cards and things.
Right. Dom swapping is great.
swapping.
In some ways, birds can become better than suited cards if you have like a stable of dominance cards to swap with. Getting acolytes isn't even
I just
bad necessarily, just not
They stay to number 2.
in the absence of picking up
Click to
like gardens and recruits and stuff.
okay.
and
Did they
Alright.
get another boot?
They got another
So-
boot.
you could just flip it because I flipped it before.
Well, hey, that's the best thing Warlord could have gotten from that. So,
Yeah. I mean, outside of like hammer
Should roll the dice.
Yeah.
or sword.
Yep.
Should I just?
Like
I was
losing
thinking in
Wrathful's
terms
bad,
of-
but denying the
yeah.
sword from the Vagabonds is probably better in this game.
That is true.
Bunny.
Bunny. So if you
It's good,
go
Mark. There's no
north, or
redrafting.
could go to the middle.
I think the stronghold is there.
Table can decide whatever they want. They won't get a choice.
Okay, let's put it. Let's put it there. That's raising. Now I can recruit. Just one guy here. Now I
If Vagabonds attack like a lot,
a new
they could put the Warlord in a kind of rough spot and behind.
Yeah, I
More
mean,
than
I wasn't expecting Warlord or Vagabonds to pick up weapons so quickly. There's maybe a world where Vagabonds just like hard wipe the rats and keep them wiped every turn for the rest of the game. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Well, what's nice for the Vagabonds in this is that you can work together easily to be like, hey, I found this and this,
Mhm.
and it helps you. It helps very much, like, because that information's open for them to share with each other, and so it's like, hey, I found the sword. There's not another sword here. So go look over there, and then they can both coordinate to get the right items that they want to limit the Warlord from even getting them, or to give them the scraps effectively.
Stubborn.
I think they realize they're about to get hit, so Stubborn's a good
Yeah.
choice. Honestly, if I'm Warlord, I would use my command to move those 2 rats from there and then like run away. I would run like to the right side and just leave.
I'll craft this one.
What? How are they crafting?
Yeah,
I
how
only
are
have
you,
one.
Sorry.
how are you crafting a coins with one stronghold?
This one.
Oh,
Okay, going hard on the command.
but losing relentless. Ah, that hurts.
I don't know. Do you even need Relentless in this game with nobody to even fight?
I guess true. You probably don't need it in this game.
Yeah. Now let's come on.
I think it's more the. I think the moving though. Think about it. Like you can get a lot more movement done and just drop off, move, drop off.
But you have to move and battle. So like if you're doing it to a bunch of empty clearings, you're not even going to get to proc it.
Yeah.
Okay, so
Yeah, you wouldn't proc it if you didn't. Yeah, I forgot about that. So I've only played the Warlord like 2 times.
Well, then
Because
get
you play
out
it
of
every-
here. No, I'm
You play them always. I don't get a chance to play. You pick them every single time. So it's like how I pick Badgers all the time.
See, what I do is understandable. You have a problem.
Oh my god. Hey, I feel like I know him now, like the back of my hand. So
maybe not.
Warlord seems to be in a scary situation actually with these vagabonds.
So I was thinking, I wondered if bitter was maybe the way to go, just to remove those mobs and get some insta recruiting. Because like
Yep.
even just a little bit of a burst to the recruiting is going to offset any damage the vagabonds can do to you. And this this is really only a threat right now while the warlord's a little thin. If they can burst just a little bit, they'll be out of that danger zone.
Yeah.
And
And you could have bittered, and then you could use your command that you've got to build a bunch,
right.
and then you have your stacks
Here.
ready to go.
Yeah, I mean
But now you have a single warlord that's gonna die.
Build.
if the warlord's able to build a few strongholds, it's if they can build more than the table can remove, then that's going to be good long term for the warlord. If not, they're just building some targets that feed points to people. This is
Yeah,
such a
right.
weird game.
It is a weird game. In my game that I played, I realized too late how much strongholds matter to the warlord.
Oh yeah.
Because I got wrecked by an aggressive moles player who's in the chat. Must not be named, but they'll know they're being called out.
No, I'm just following along with the tracker, moving the marker.
No, you
The
just
tracker
move.
keeps
You just
record of
you
what's
just move the
moved.
marker at the beginning of your turn. So
Okay, so you leave it
so we
there.
don't confuse that and change it to
Okay, good.
to hate it.
One thing that is interesting though is the warlord can't. I mean, it doesn't really matter, but the warlord can't be sniped by a crossbow, which
Right.
is interesting. To
I was
think about.
wondering if that was going to come into play last turn. Actually, that's a low key
Yeah.
important rule. The warlord cannot be removed by strike. It's
So it can't
only
be
by battle.
outside of battle. Yep.
So if the vagabond were to try and battle and then strike, they would fail.
Yep.
So that's my third action.
That ratty boy just takes that arrow to the chest and is like, I didn't even feel that.
Yeah. Seriously.
Now
But then a little knife comes in, and they're like, "Oh no."
Small
I'm dead.
knives, my weakness.
two.
3, 3, and 1. I
Yeah.
take 2 hits.
They keep punching this vagabond.
Take
Well, this is a different vagabond.
because
This one's the Ronin.
Okay.
I thought no, didn't they hit the Ronin
Damage.
uh,
Go
last time?
and
Oh, did they hit the Ronin? I don't
I
remember.
thought so because they haven't hit the vagrant yet. The
I
vagrant,
was thinking about how lizards went after the vagrant.
mm,
If this is a 6-hour game. Actually, it could be. I don't know.
I almost didn't grab a snack before we started. I'm glad I ate something. I might have to ask to get me more stuff depending on how this goes. We'll see.
All right. And now I won't incite anything. And
I'm pretty sure my wife's listening, so I'll just ask her to grab me food at some point.
yeah, I just suppress. So how many do I have?
One clearing.
1, 2.
One clearing.
So 1 point.
I think it's just one.
Oh,
Yeah,
I
yeah.
did rule that. Yeah. Okay, so 1, but still 1 point.
I,
I think that's also interesting with the Warlord. It's like
Thank you.
there's a lot of times where if you're only gonna get 1 point, stay all together. You don't need to be spread out.
Yeah.
There's no reason for it.
Yeah.
Like,
I mean, there's an
we're
argument
scoring
that
one.
the Warlord overextended by going to battle their Ronin.
Oh, I definitely think
by
so.
refreshing some items.
They're in a very thin.
And then
And if
also
those strongholds get knocked out, which
Yeah.
actually are probably the better things for the Vagabonds to go hit.
Yeah, for
Leave
sure.
the Warlord running around with getting one warrior a turn.
torch
Yep.
They're not going to do anything.
I feel like the Vagabonds want to go wipe that Lost City clearing.
Yep.
Um,
Juicy clearing. That's actually such a juicy clearing for the Ronin. Actually,
Mhm.
Vagrant needs to get in there because the Ronin can
okay. I'll
they
take
can just go and slip in, snipe, and get 3 points.
I mean, if the Vagrant was willing to forego exploring, the Vagrant could have gone and instigated
I'm just gonna,
and then
That
battled.
is also true.
I mean, all sorts
Could
of
help-
shenanigans.
I appreciate
And could have got social capital with the lizard cult by being like, "Hey, I'm going to put the lizards on defense.
and
Lizards
then
give you an
I
acolyte."
will,
The only problem there would be shutting down aid
let's see.
for both
is
factions so
true.
quickly, potentially.
That would be
But I mean, hey,
1 is too much.
if you have a fun chance to instigate, why not do it?
Oh yeah, Instigate's such a cool power.
So I'll exhaust my hammer.
Spirit Bear, unpicked faction was cats. These players just they willingly chose a cursed game.
They chose it. Oh, there goes a
T for the Vagrant.
Oh,
Oh boy, Vagrant's still in the game. Love it.
yes.
Slot.
T. the
One T
Vagrant
for
has a lot
each-
more card draw and has the same amount of action
then,
economy, which is very nice.
I mean, what's great about this is we've seen so far in the tournament that if a Vagabond doesn't get T, they really struggle
Yes.
in the Despot Infamy world. So to see each Vagabond get one, like, there's that problem solved. Both Vagabonds
Yep.
can be competitive. They have that fundamental
To
need
this
resolved.
thing here.
Yeah, and this game does seem slow enough that I think they're going to do
Then I'll
well.
exhaust a
Because I
sword.
think that game on Friday where it was like a race,
Mhm.
I know everyone's like, "Oh, we're scared about the Tinker," but the Tinker was so much slower
Right.
than the rest of those factions.
The Vagabond needs a slower game
Thank you very
in this meta.
Which is cool. I think if you balance with either some starting item changes with some of the Vagabonds, I think all Vagabonds could be viable if you changed a couple
Sorry, I
like
just need
little
to remind
things with some of
myself.
them.
Yeah.
With how
what stubborn means for you. But that doesn't apply in this situation. It's only with the.
But hey, that's for Root 2nd Edition, right?
oh yeah.
I did
Best thing about them is that a lot of it's their cards. Like you just have to change the card, and then
It's
it's a
true.
very easy
more spot.
economical change if needed, if done.
I think not to go too far down this tangent. I think the issue becomes that the Vagabonds were not designed to be balanced. They were designed to be thematic or interesting,
A rat.
That is
and to make them balanced via their role card would probably to some extent homogenize them, because the things that are good are universally good. So if you're trying to make all the Vagabonds good, you're probably doing it in the same ways, and it's going to make them too similar. So it's there's a bit of a rabbit hole problem there to tackle.
We do have a very injured Ronin.
I'll wait for you too.
Yeah, I'll just discard this one right here.
Okay, so it's
We're gonna have at this point hated mouse, which is very nice.
as mouse too, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yes, it does count as mouse as well.
Okay. So I'm going to sleep. I will sleep here.
Shoot, heal it and shoot it.
I will exhaust the
Squid Mark.
to grab. Heal.
Squidmark was so upset.
Uh,
A That's the last boot for you guys.
That's 1 point for me.
That's good that that boot got taken away from the Warlord. So
And then I will exhaust the hammer to
yep. There goes the stronghold.
crossbow. I will exhaust the crossbow to strike.
Bye bye.
So,
My
and
warrior.
now
This is great play by the Ronin.
Yeah, I like
Great
this a
play.
lot. I like this a lot.
ambushes.
No.
Ambush him. Do it.
Yeah, I'd like to.
Just don't roll a 0-0. Oh, they're good.
Okay, so I take both of them.
That is 3 points.
3 points. Wow.
3 points, I think.
That's correct. Yeah.
I think we're gonna see this just be a double 2 vagabonds at the top, and lizards and warlord are just gonna be at like
And
10.
I kind of hope this is a Ronin win, just because like the ultimate meme, the most cursed game ever would a Ronin win. That would be amazing.
It'd be so good.
Not to say I would be disappointed by a Scoundrel win either, because Scoundrel's a little or Vagrant. I always do that. Vagrant's a little bit of a meme too.
Yeah.
here. And I will spend this card to remove the.
Heck yeah, baby.
Let's go this one.
And that
This roll.
still hated mouse because it's all tied. So, but man, they're just getting all the points, and
That's it.
Man, I love it.
Let's roll one.
oh my goodness, this is great.
And let's-
Oy.
I think we have to see double gardens go down, or
Yeah,
there's no way lizards have
No
any
way.
chance.
No way.
All right, so it's mouse, and we're on mouse, so mouse will be hated.
Powdered Toast Man Main 09. Unchosen faction was the cats.
Discard these cards. Oh, someone's doing it for me.
Yeah. If you could take
Great.
some swings at the Vagabond, that would be awesome.
How's the lizard gonna take swings? This is not what the lizards want to do. Just do your Euro game, start scoring, and win. I get it.
The one
Chat saying that Vagabond or lizards should go for bird dom. I kind of think they might be right.
That's probably the way you have to do it. But remember, your chat, you have to get to 10 points.
Yeah, I mean you still have to get to 10 points.
Crusade.
Oh, this is why you're not allowed to re-roll pools, because you get shit like this.
People have to.
Vagabond, do you have an ambush?
Not that I want to use now.
Oh no!
What are these rolls?
That's
dice
the
are
second
broken.
time today.
Yeah.
They're
Oh
broken.
my goodness! All right, let's see how broken the dice are. I'll give it another go.
Are they getting rid? There's like no things. There's nothing left in their mouse clear.
What is happening?
Oh no! Oh, it's almost a 0. 0
Yeah.
again.
That's
Still
not
doesn't do anything.
We cannot win this.
1-0.
I will exhaust my. I will damage my boot.
Yeah, Ronin's just like, I'm laughing and moving.
Ronin's too swift.
Okay, let's see it. Let's see another bird, or not another bird, another bunny. Okay, so we have 2. We have it. We need another mouse though.
I'm guessing Steve H does not have a mouse, and that's why Steve H moved so many pieces over. Yeah.
Oh, it's a fox.
Yeah.
No.
What I tell?
Oh
Ooh,
my
I don't like it there.
gosh. Oh no.
We're not gonna get our bird dom that way.
Go straight for that garden.
Wait. How did you build the garden?
With the fox card
He
in a
rolls that
in a
clear,
ruling
and
clearing he rolls. Yeah.
Revealed fox.
I rolled this.
Fox card.
Yeah.
When did you move
Useful
here?
folders. I was there.
You started there.
Oh yeah. Okay.
I gotta say though, I love the lizards.
Let's see.
They ain't winning this game. Like,
Yeah, no, I just believe.
I have no clue how to evaluate this game. I'm just here for the ride.
oh, it's a ride.
Back to my hand.
I'm Team Ronin all the way. Maybe
I'm crafting with the bunny suit, which or not the bunny. I'm sorry.
This is wild, though.
mouse. I don't
This
have
is
anything
utterly
I can
wild.
craft. So So I'm just going to draw 2 cards.
We can't gamble yet, Squidmark.
Yeah,
But that might be.
that might be what it ends up being, but we'll get there when we get there.
Discard card and pass the turn.
Okay. So now Warlord. Let's see what
nothing
happens.
to raise. Let's recruit one guy here.
They kept one of their strongholds, which was nice for them.
I have to change the mood, right?
Yes. Yes, it is mandatory.
Yes, I believe you're required to.
Yes.
Or you just never run a mood. That happened in my game. The person never chose a mood.
Yes, the ennui meta.
Yeah.
Because your prowess is 1.
Yeah. Oh, okay. I didn't know that.
Yep, they've not been recognizing that they needed to get a warrior each
Okay.
turn from that.
Yeah.
Last turn you couldn't because your warlord was dead, but
Yeah, it's only been a loss of 1 warrior so far, but
Yeah.
that actually might have mattered, you know?
It didn't matter, yep.
What is it called? Stronghold.
But hey, Warlord also started where they shouldn't have, so
Yeah, well, they're not there anymore.
you're not wrong.
They look like they started in the right spot now.
They
so-
look like it. We'll never tell. I'm just imagining that I'll make a special thumbnail for this one that has like a pentagram and like some satanic imagery or something. Say it's cursed.
Yeah, let's. I can't take this one.
Some people are asking what reach is. Is it 17? Because it's 9 for the Warlord, plus 2 for the Lizard, so it's 11. You've got another 5, so you've got 6. Oh, no, it is 18. 'Cause there's another 2 for the
Yeah,
other
VB2
Vagabond.
is 2, so it's 18 total. Not that reach matters. We live in a post-reach society.
We do. Now we have colors. Only 2 colors, though.
We crashed the mode. Apparently today is the day of me making weird references that I don't expect people to get.
I think I'll try Wrathful.
Best to try. Always try. At least try and see what happens.
Crafting, I can craft anything. So let's command the hundreds.
So, Guerric, you've played more Warlord than I have. What would you do right now as the Warlord?
Oh man, I'm really wishing Warlord had bittered last turn to get those extra recruits, you know, because that would have been a whole different situation, a whole different ball game. But in this world that we're in, lavish some of those items away, maybe. Because I think the big thing is still just that the Warlord is too vulnerable, and I guess maybe you could try getting as far away from the Vagabonds as possible and plopping down some strongholds.
Ronin.
Yeah.
I don't know. This is just bad. Frankly, I don't know what I would do because this game is so
I can
weird and wacky.
hit him.
It's a very weird and wacky
I only
game.
have the 1 sword.
Because like the Warlord needs to start spreading out to gain points, but the Warlord doesn't have the density to do that.
And I'm afraid if I leave, you would
The Warlord should
kill my
not
stronghold.
fight anyone right now, actually. Like,
Right.
they need to keep their warriors up.
Because you are
They need to get oppressed
falling
points.
behind. And
Oh,
it
that's
doesn't
what
I
help.
won't do anything to it either.
Because they can start scoring massive points. They're not out of this game. They just need to protect the Warlord and get going.
Right. I mean, they just need a turn or two to get things going without getting wiped.
Because lizards aren't going to be that big of an issue, and the lizard player's spending so many acolytes for things that have not paid off,
Okay.
which is sad, but just haven't paid off as much. Your big threats right now are the Vagabonds, and if you can convince the Vagabonds to hit each other, you should be doing well.
I think I'll try it.
Yeah, Squidmark, a prowess item would help a lot.
here.
Uh-oh.
I don't know what's happening, but I don't like it.
Ah, sorry.
Oh, they're going to go fight the Ronin. That's what they're doing.
One attack.
Okay, go ahead.
I mean, I agree that often offense is the best defense.
One hit.
I don't know that it is right now.
What stinks is if that stronghold gets destroyed,
One
and let's say they killed the Warlord, you could get the Warlord stuck in that clearing because of the gardens.
That is true.
Is that?
I will. Torch.
Damaging the torch.
Oh no.
It's-
This could be so bad.
And
Because, like,
now I'll take these two guys.
no, don't do that. No. Oh no.
Move and
The Warlord is so close to being trapped right now.
So close to being trapped.
come on, come on.
Me too.
So
Oh
and
my
it
gosh.
deals extra hit because it's wrathful.
If the Vagrant doesn't want to have to worry about the Warlord ever again, and
And I
Vagrant
think-
kills that stronghold,
Wow.
the Ronin kills the other warrior that's out, and then they just let the Warlord sit with
Doesn't matter, I
the
think
lizards,
it's,
and then that's just how the game
Oh my
goes.
God.
The Ronin kept his sword. Ronin can do it himself.
Gain one
Ronin can just slip over there and kill the one.
press.
Oh my gosh. This
And
is
draw
a
card,
this is a game. Wow.
and you can go.
Oh my
Okay.
gosh.
Items. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, I will slip
No, kill it.
into
Kill
the
it.
Lost City clearing.
He can move back. He can move back.
Yeah.
I wonder, could you attack the Vagabond?
I mean, why?
I
Because-
could, but it's almost pointless because
Ah, yeah.
he's almost sure. He is sure to go into the forest this turn.
I think
So-
he will just go and destroy my stronghold instead.
And then
mean,
North
I won't
Abbott
do
should
that
kill that
If I
warrior.
do that, I have to discard like a lot of items.
No, the stronghold has the same result because it gives the Warlord rule over there, and you have to deny rule from both for it to matter.
Yeah, I guess that's what I mean. Is they need to both coordinate
like
and
that.
just laugh.
Yeah, no, root.
Colonel Cabbage, we have not yet seen Incite used. There was a good opportunity for it, but it was not used.
So I'm going to spend. I'm gonna spend my. Let's do my root tea, and my quest that rabbit quest. So root tea and boot to grab.
It's actually
this,
easy for the lizards to help out with this too. They
quest
can
card.
convert this hundreds of
and
warrior.
I'm gonna
They
go
could.
ahead and
They could.
go for
I don't know that the lizards are incentivized to do this though, because then it just traps the Warlord on the lizards.
Oh yeah, I don't think they're incentivized to do it, but I just think it'd be really funny.
It would be
I
very
just
fun.
really want this to happen.
I know. It's easy to be like, hey, let's just do the meme things.
aid the
This game's already a meme. We just need more meme things to happen.
Guerric Blue, I don't believe you need
Mm,
rule, just a warrior. I'm double checking that. Yeah.
1, 2, 3 times. So 1.
Ooh. Okay. Vagrant's going heavy on the aids.
Okay.
I'm gonna put these cards in
That
front of.
that feels like a
lizards.
bad sentence.
Make sure I got the right cards there. Pretty sure they're all valid.
Straight out of South Park. These are my
Lost
aids.
City.
What is nice about that
we
one
exhaust
lizard
three
warrior there
items
is that
here,
you can
so
just be
it's
like,
gonna be
hey, here's a fox, here's a mouse. Like, it doesn't have to be the same
and
suit.
Right.
They can all just, I just have to flip
and
items
then
and aid
I'll
you.
exhaust my hammer to
Uh-oh, they haven't moved up on their aid track, though.
craft the last bag.
Don't forget to get your relationship points too.
Oh yeah, Colonel Cabs, I did understand what you meant. Yeah.
Aided 3 times, so I move up to there and I grab 3 points. So 1,
All right, they fixed it.
2, 3.
With that
And
one lizard warrior there,
I grab
Vagrant might be able to aid to a win. Because
Oh, yeah.
they could score just 2 points every single aid, so they could They could score like 10 points a turn. Oh my gosh.
The real problem is that Vagrant picked up that sword. Like, there's an argument that Vagrant should never have picked up that sword if they were going to lean so hard into the aiding.
Yeah.
And then I become finished with my turn. Let's go
Just
ahead.
a clarification, you aided me twice, right? So you gave me 3 cards, so that moves me to the... You said 3 times, which would have been an additional few cards to get me to allied. So you just aided me twice with 3 cards?
No?
No,
Three
I aided
times?
you
No,
3
3
times.
times.
with the-
From indifferent to level
awareness.
2.
Yeah.
Yeah, the first card moves you 1 slot, and the second and the rest and the other 2.
The second time
It's your
requires 2 cards.
Yeah.
So 3 cards would only get you to the middle, so that...
No, so it's not the... It's 2 aid actions that gets me to that next
Oh,
relationship
okay.
slot.
Sorry.
So I aided you 3 times with three items exhausted and 3 cards.
Gotcha.
So it's my turn. I will refresh 3, 1,
Very easy for them to get to the allied.
and the sword. And I'm going to sleep
Honestly, it'd be worthwhile for the Vagrant almost
here.
to go into
That'd be
the
hilarious.
Warlord or Ronin to get hit, damage that sword, and then keep going with
I
aiding.
will go to evening.
I like that DZT did the fake out for a second there. Like they were going to slip over to their stronghold. And then
Yeah.
they switched to the forest.
It is repair or repair and refresh. Just repair, right?
It's just repair
It's actually repair and refresh for the things
Yeah.
that you repair.
all your items
Yes.
that are left. Anyway,
Not going to matter
I
in
don't-
this case.
No.
Pretty much never matters.
No, not
But-
usually.
And I draw 1 card, and then we turn.
I wonder if the table, I don't think they do, but if they realize how close the Warlord was to being stuck.
They probably didn't notice, no. And again, I don't know that it's actually in the table's incentive to do that.
I think it's in the Vagrant's incentive. Because I think it makes
Probably the Vagrant.
not the lizards, but the Vagrant I think would want that. Vagrant and Ronin, both Vagabonds would want that because
Yeah.
they would.
But I don't think Lizards would want that. And admittedly, I think North Abbot had a very solid turn doing other things.
1. I just kept it to convert. And mouse. 100 sets you here.
No.
Oh,
ouch.
it almost is happening.
And I'll spend
I mean,
The Crusading.
we
2 crusade.
Oh no. Oh, this is gonna be so bad for the Vagrant. Oh, this would be so bad.
Yes, I will ambush.
Oh no, that's not good. Oh no. No.
Nice.
Oh, that's better for the Vagrant.
And is there additional ambush?
no, you don't do damage.
No, you
You
can't.
cannot do
You
that.
can only. you
That
only
counter
do
wasn't
round
good
damage.
actually.
Yeah, that counter ambush was not good. All right.
Oh, okay.
All right. Vagrant got unlucky.
Only 1 sword, so I
Forced hostile.
and
And this is why you don't pick up that sword if you can help it. And you're going to do this.
Yep. Yep.
hit.
That really hurts.
Really hurts.
The end of my.
I thought Vagrant seemed like a really good shot.
To
Not as much now.
reveal offer makers. Going to build.
Yeah, Gooey, if they had done that, the Warlord would have been stuck.
Yep.
It would have been great.
But again, I really don't think that's in the Lizard's interest. So,
Okay, let's see if...
Wolf and
okay.
Legend, this is the ultimate cursed game. It's 2 Vagabonds, the Lizards, and the Warlord.
Discard. Oops, sorry, discard this. Choose
It's
four.
Oh,
It's going very
we're finally
strangely.
getting some scoring for Lizards.
Oh, right, thank you.
also, yeah, third garden, why? What are you doing with a third garden?
Nothing.
That gets you nothing. It's
There was a game where I almost got 4 gardens. Almost. I didn't get them because I had 2. But I had the ability almost to convert the last round if it was outcast. and I
Sanctify,
could
you
have
mean?
won. Yeah, sorry, sanctified. I could have sanctified to win with the score of 4. Actually, it would have 5. It would have been 5 guards in the same suit. I would have gotten 4 points and won the
You
game.
want to go through all this here?
That's the only time you do it.
Oh, setting up that bird, Dom.
Yep. They're going for it. They're ready to do it. They need more warriors.
Another Fox Garden.
But
We reveal 2 cards for 2 acolytes.
it might be their game plan. It genuinely might be their game plan.
I honestly kind of think it's a solid game plan.
It is. I think that's the only way the Lizards can win. But it's a really, if you get the warriors that you need there, it's a great game plan.
Yeah.
Open up any of those paths instead of I'm just pointing out maybe some of your
I would love if the Lizards won on a dominance victory in this matchup.
Yeah. I mean, honestly, we have seen, I think, 2 very close dominance plays in the tournament so far. One just came down to turn order, and the table choosing not to police the person ahead of the dominance player. And one came down to the dominance player not seeing their full ability to police the other factions and enable their win. So I mean, we talk down on dominance a lot, but we maybe talk down a little too much. It has its niche uses.
probably reinforce
It's so much off meta in a way that
Right.
you can sneak wins with it because people don't think about it in their
Right.
tool of. It's so easy to pay attention to a race and to not think about, hey, I can also win
Yeah.
this other way.
Put one warrior here and
Katari, that's a good point. There was another game where somebody almost played it. I don't think they would have succeeded it, is the thing. The ones I'm referring to, the players almost succeeded.
more than enough cards.
One of them, they should have succeeded if they'd seen it.
But if he damages one of your gardens, if he gets one of your gardens, then you have to discard one of your cards. After.
But I think the table had enough reaction in that one game with the rats that they could have stopped it. But I could be misremembering. It's been a while.
Choice, whatever you think.
I'm confused what's happening right now. I think
Yeah, I was talking through it, so I have no clue what's going on.
So I'm just going to go back to these couple cards here, to the cards in question. So I'm going to just, if everyone's okay with this, what I'm going to do is I'm going to say that instead of putting a warrior in a garden here, I instead put a...
No, I don't think that they're saying that. Oh, this is your dominance play is to go over there.
and
Oh.
a warrior instead. And then with this blue card, instead of getting acolytes, put that back.
We need to take that
I would clear a
warrior away from the other fox clearing, don't we?
point.
No, because
No,
they
no,
put
it is-
2
you're right,
warriors
you're
down.
right.
They put instead of a garden and a warrior.
Yep, I got it.
Yeah, I think that sounds good.
On the board, there's no crafted improvements that I see. Okay, so I'm going to draw 2 cards and discard down to 5.
All right, good opportunity here for the lizards to control the outcast.
Yep.
If that matters. I don't know if it does, but I'm just saying things.
What I think the Lizards need to do, really, like if they're genuinely trying to go for a win, which I think is a dominance,
I always
They need to
forget
get
do the little trick where you can
they really need to put as many warriors in that fox as
discard
possible
or spend.
and get at least a minimum of 2 acolytes, which is going to be very easy for them, so that they can then move
Makes it easier to
those
discard things.
those huge amount on that bunny clearing over to the mouse, and then
Yeah.
hold it.
Yeah.
Okay, and I'm done.
And they can't discard all their all their bird cards, so they can get that bird dom.
And one on the Warlord. Move. Okay, let's go for stubborn again. Crafting. I can't craft anything.
This is always so interesting with the dominance because you don't think about them as the other factions, how they score it, because gardens just allow it so much easier compared to how other factions do it.
Yeah.
Because other factions, you're like, oh yeah, I'm going to try to win this way. And then you're like, oh shoot, they just have more warriors than me. Okay, I lose.
Yeah.
Lizards,
yeah.
you're like, I have no warriors. I just have gardens. Ha ha ha.
Gardens are such a powerful subversion of the normal rule paradigm that it goes a long way toward making dominance viable.
It's one reason. It's one game I've not tried playing yet is Badgers versus Lizards,
Wait.
and I feel like it would be so rough.
All right, I like the extra strongholds. I'm
Yep.
concerned about how thinly they're spread at the moment. I'd like to see probably the Warlord little army move over to the other stronghold to protect it,
Yep.
I think.
and get out of there. Don't
Yeah,
get stuck.
I can
Right. Like, get out of there while you can.
skip the other command, I think, and I'll just now take this guy and go away.
Okay.
You can do your last move as that if you want.
Yeah, but I don't think there's a point.
I mean, you just have an extra action if you want.
Sorry?
No, okay.
They're getting bogged down by the most pointless semantic.
Yes. Like, not anything that matters in terms. It's all the same.
Instead of advancing, you could use the prowess. That doesn't
Like-
matter.
It's like, I'm going to score 1 + 1 + 1, and that's going to be 3 points.
Then
So if you do 2 + 1, it's also 3 points. Ah, yes.
I mean, you could just do that move as the last command.
La Nocta Tempesto, this is a double Vagabond game with Warlord and Lizards.
Okay, sorry.
It is truly cursed. Save us all.
Is that fine? I mean,
Yeah,
yeah,
if you want to leave the Warlord here, it's fine.
yeah, I want it there.
Wait, what? No, that works. Yeah, that works.
Yeah, okay. So that's it.
So Ronin's coming back with a lot of items, by the way.
Ah,
on their
Vagabond
turn.
is coming back.
A lot of items.
Yeah, things are looking good for Ronin at the moment. I'm excited to see their next turn.
Inside anything.
Prince Urbane, yes. Vagrant should be hostile with the Lizards.
Press for one,
They are. They have
Are they on their board? Yeah, they are.
It should be.
Yeah. 3 Vagabond in Warlord.
Oh my gosh.
I'll make that the special surprise faction pool for the semifinalists or something.
So in my bird song, I will refresh 3
Are you doing
items.
preset faction pools?
No,
in the
it's
semifinals?
there were multiple steps required for that joke to work, and it was probably a leap too far, but it
One
yeah.
quest I can do.
I was like, oh, that's exciting if that was the case.
Or I can
That was one of those things we discussed when we were first discussing,
see one.
like Bot, Marcus the Cat, Justin K, and myself were like creating the +1 pool draft and discussing Root as a competitive game. We talked about that sort of thing as a tournament format, like preset pools and map and stuff like that. That's the end of that anecdote. I have no point.
This root T, this boot, and let's refresh a hammer. So right away I'll just slip into.
So we know Root's this game about a war over the woodland.
There's not one
A lot of this woodland is
Stay
just
where
chilling. They're like, do you hear some whispers of a war?
Yeah, I'll stay where I am and just spend this root T in the bag to do this quest. And I'll go for yeah, I'll go for a those 2 cards.
Go for cards again.
So-
At some point, we have to score.
I like going for points almost always.
I mean,
Unless I'm like super starved. But
like your very first
especially if
quest.
you're drawing 2.
Like your very first quest, I often like the cards.
And then
Because you typically could use that little bit of jump start on your drawing, and that helps you enable other like quests or other crafts or
to
aids or things like that. But I think we're at the point where like we have enough card draws, Vagrant. We've already gotten draws from a previous quest. We really need to start getting points.
Yeah.
so let me draw 2 cards.
I could have seen the quests be like
And then I
what it could have been
discard
really
1,
cool if they had
2,
not gone hostile is
what
you
I
use
need,
quests to get extra card juice for your aid.
Yeah, that would be fun.
Let's see, where's the
That just helps jumpstart your aiding points, which would have been
it's going to be Fox.
awesome.
So I'll discard some cards here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Yeah, I mean, if you're going to discard so many cards, why not just get the points?
Yeah.
Yeah, that should be good.
So I'm going to refresh my remaining items.
That's they just discarded all those new cards they drew. They
Right.
just get the point. Oh man.
And I will. What will I do?
He might be Colonel Cabbage.
I don't know why he would be though, because like
I don't know why he would be either.
doing anything like.
And if I'm
What Granite Tap just said, that's what I was thinking. Maybe he was just searching for the hammer. But my concern is if you spend the whole game searching for that item,
Yeah,
it doesn't do you any good if you still just end up losing, you know?
Oh, and there's another sword for the Ronin. Oh gosh.
Ronin Online.
okay.
Here we go.
That's 1 point for me.
And this is the hard thing for the Vagrant. The Vagrant's gonna get punched way harder by the Ronin than the Vagrant can punch the Ronin. Like,
Yeah.
Okay, so I will exhaust 1 boot to move here. I will exhaust.
La Nocta Tempesto, if you pay attention to the Woodland Warriors Discord, JC has been campaigning for Vagabond to be able to win via dominance because Vagabond
Alright.
can rule clearings with hirelings.
Flip a request.
Okay, so I'm going to exhaust another.
yeah, Lily, they didn't get the point. They
Oh
get
man.
cards.
Here. And
We're getting to the point in the game though
the lizard
where
3 times.
the Vagabonds somewhat plateau.
So
Yes.
They don't score as fast as they do at the beginning. And we've seen a lot of Vagabonds in this Despot Infamy struggle to get out of this to get to the end game.
in this one.
But the other factions are so far behind that they could probably plateau for a turn or two and still be okay.
I love,
My relationship to
I love that now Ronin is going heavy on the aid.
Yeah, we're gonna aid and then still have all these swords and then the
that's it. So I draw 1 card.
I'm loving
Wizards
this.
can't crusade. Oh, they could still. Not yet actually, because they don't have enough acolytes.
That's the outcast. We are moving to.
Ronin's just like, Vagrant, I see what you're doing. I'm going to do it better.
Wait, why are they moving it to Bunny? Wait, what? What?
What?
It's
That is very heavily met, Fox.
it's like I didn't even see the six.
I can't see. All right.
I understand, though. Seeing things is difficult.
That for me. I only have 1 acolyte, so
And
I'll
not everyone
pass
can have 20/20 vision.
conspiracies.
I know, I don't.
I'll move to my daylight.
So many cards.
To-
Well, of course, there's a Fox suit, Granite Tap. It's the only thing the mob dice has on it. Are you legally blind, Lily? I didn't think it was that bad. That would explain why she's with me.
Discard to score for Fox. That's
They're
2 points.
going for the bird dom.
Bird down, bird down.
I'm going to.
Watch a vagabond pick it up just to deny it.
Oh my gosh, that's also the thing. Is like you need to grab that bird dominance card like right now.
Like, yeah, if you're gonna do a dom, you have to make sure it's under your control.
Full day.
What? Oh my gosh, they're splitting up. Like, I would have put that mouse with your other mouse. No.
Reveal.
Clearly, the idea is to get all 5 gardens of all 3 suits out onto the map.
I'm going to discard.
This game's wild. I
don't even know how to commentate it.
I don't know. I'm just like my mind is getting blown like left and right. Like I'm just like it's like everything that I would do is the opposite.
Oh, I know why Steve H thought it switched to Bunny for a second, because he wanted to craft coffin makers.
Yeah, he was like, I want this. Yeah. Lily, that's just the Matrix
So I'm going
glitching.
to-
That's not your eyes.
That here. And I'm going to discard swap meet. Score.
Lizards gain 6 VP per turn, barely. Honestly, this is where Bird Dom, like next turn almost, like not next turn, but if you recruit heavily on those clearings, you grab, like honestly, yeah, you could do it next turn because you could just claim it during. No one's able to stop you right now, I don't think, not easily. Warlord's out of it for trying to stop you.
I think you got to build up enough of an army that Ronin doesn't break you, because with a crossbow and 2 swords, that's 5 potential removals.
Yes, it is, but it is only 5. So if they're able to move from this bunny,
Might as well craft that. You're gonna get some cards back. Anyway.
That's a good craft. Zim the Vixen, hello.
is False Horror a good craft? Who are you using it on?
Yeah, who are you using it on?
Warlord has 2 warriors per.
I mean, sure, normally it's a great craft. What the heck are you going to use it on here?
Okay. Draw 4 cards. Start down to 5.
I wonder if Patrick Leader is watching this game, because he posted in the Woodland Warriors Discord, like, oh darn, I missed the games. I'm implying, I think, that he wanted to watch them. And I was like, hey, the next one's in 30 minutes. So I wonder if he's seeing this abomination of a game.
I know. This is the thing you and Cole created.
You did this.
I know Cole. I think Cole's watching these slowly. So Cole, this is what your game has created. This is yours.
I mean, you heard the story of the space, it was the Space Cats. It was either the Winter Tournament or the Space Cats tournament, I forget now, where he was commentating and they had a double Vagabond like coalition chain or whatever, and it became in 3v1. And Patrick was like, "This is not good. Like this should not be a thing." And he went to Cole about it, and Cole was like, "Oh, that sounds great. That's staying. That's part of the game."
Yeah, no. There's a difference in what Cole wants, and sometimes. I appreciate it though. Sometimes chaos is just so much fun.
What's amusing is they sort of half patched it out with Marauder. It's still possible, but it's harder now than it used to be.
Yes, yep.
I'll be back in 1 minute.
Yeah, I mean, what do you even do as Warlord right now? I don't know.
Start moving to the right, like really just try to start getting those like
the oppressed points,
clearance.
I guess.
Yeah, just you gotta try.
You gotta try. Mario MD, if you read the new text for Double Vagabond Coalition, wherever it is, I forget exactly. I think what it is you're not allowed to form a coalition.
I move one guy here. And the card.
If the person you're doing it with is already in a coalition.
Oh, it's different.
But it doesn't say anything about you being in a coalition, as I recall. There's some way where you can do it in the right order now, as opposed to it being possible either direction. I forget what it is.
What do you mean by that?
I don't know.
Spend any card, or does it
Yes,
just match?
Let me go look at it.
It can be any card.
It can be any card.
Yeah.
Alright, then I'll
Warlord wants to do this. They want to move over and get that point,
so one
get an extra oppress point.
Doesn't it have to be matching?
Yeah, so
I thought it
if you read the section Dominance Cards and Coalitions 9.2.8, when you form it, the player cannot be in a coalition. So you cannot do
Being
it.
summoned actually.
Oh shit.
It's Rule D 3.3.
Did you call me?
Player can spend a card to remove path.
Yeah, Guerric, real quick question about the mountain map.
Yes.
Opening up passes, does it have to be a matching
It does not.
card?
It's any card.
Does not have to match. Okay.
any card. Alright, thanks.
So to finish my thought,
Point or
and then focus on the game again. Just finishing my thought. Dominance Cards and Coalition. You cannot join a coalition if the factions are already in a coalition. However, you can as a Vagabond, coalition the other Vagabond, and that Vagabond could coalition a third party.
I guess I did. Let's leave it like that.
That's still legal.
Boy.
I know, Lily. They half patched it. That's what I'm saying.
And
Anyway, I gotta focus on the game. I gotta get back in the game.
I've been focused. The Warlord is Warlord went to get a point, but then left to not get their extra oppressed point.
For build here.
Wait, what?
Wait, you can't spend that.
What?
No, they're going back from what they spent their fox card when they went down there. They meant to spend like this mouse card, and then build with the fox that they did.
Got it.
But they still should have left that warrior there.
Yeah.
Because they're losing a point.
Right. They would have enabled to press.
And I gain.
But fair enough. Like you're building up your army. I think it's going to be too slow, but that was something we talked about. How Warlord needs to build up an army before they can spread out. So I get it.
That's it.
Okay.
All right. I have very little to do on my turn. I will refresh 3 items. I'll do my root tea. Let's do a hammer. And what else?
Mario MD, I love it.
1, 2, 1, 2. I need a boot.
We don't have one of those. We just have to play curse games.
Yep.
All right. And with that, I will slip to
Forest.
nowhere. I won't slip anywhere.
Oh, they're not slipping.
But I will use my hammer to craft a swap meat.
Okay.
Interesting. I mean, swap meat's good.
Put it over here.
I don't hate it.
And then I'll use my my boot and a bag. Boot and a bag. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. To do this quest.
But wait, why didn't they use why craft swap meat when you're about to lose items?
Take 2 points.
When you could have gotten your other bag
Should I take the
and been
points,
fine.
or should I take the?
I wonder if
Struggle.
North Abbot miscalculated
Take 1, 2
and
points.
thought North Abbot had an extra spot. He may not have counted the damaged item.
Turn, I don't
Or the one
have
he's
much.
exhausting for the quest, maybe the
Uh-oh.
bag.
They're not burning their items. Oh no.
Yep. And I'll draw.
Steel meat is better stuff by Rudy. It's also cheating.
You have to discard 1 item.
I
Oh,
do
yep.
have to discard one item. Yes.
That hurts.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Oh, I counted wrong.
Yep.
7. I'll go ahead and discard this bag.
Ugh.
Painful.
I would do the boot, but
And,
I don't know.
Yeah, that should.
I guess you need it for is a double boot quest out, so
Yeah, I was thinking about that. You probably want the double boot. I don't know how much a second bag is getting you right now, but it's tough.
3.
It's not ideal either way.
Let me grab this card, discard it.
Probably should have just repaired that bag and been safe.
So refresh
Yeah.
5 items. 2 boots.
so lizards can score a lot on their next turn.
2 swords.
I just hate how spread out they are.
Right. I mean,
Like if we had this fox garden with that on the right and have double there, and we had this mouse over in the top left, we'd be set as lizards.
right. I mean,
Lizards
this
be
is.
laughing into the sunset.
I thought lizards were had a great potential from the draft. They just took too long to set up. But I mean, maybe they didn't take too long. Maybe the game slowed enough that it's going to be okay for lizards.
Well, it
Or
wasn't.
maybe they just go dominance.
I think that it didn't. I think the game slowed down in the middle more than because the Warlord didn't race. I think they ended up being fine.
Okay.
Mhm.
But now how they've set up, they put so much risk that didn't need to be there
Right.
into their position
Why do you draw 2 cards?
that makes it
He decided to
really,
draw
really
cards
rough.
I see.
instead of going for points. Now, to be clear, guys, me and the other Vagabond are racing to find that other hammer. Just in case you didn't know, we're in a race.
Which
Except
I don't
Warlord's
agree
really
with
gonna
this
help us,
race.
But I don't know that.
I think it's amusing that they're both playing along.
Yep.
They've decided to play the same game with the same rules, as opposed to one of them, racing for points and one racing for the hammer.
I didn't know you get the second hammer, you automatically win. But maybe I misread the rules.
The second
added
hammer
there.
helps you get the 5 boots. I think that's the logic.
Let's see what else.
That's true. Instant win for the Ronin.
Focus. Okay.
For real though, I mean, we've been through the deck, so either somebody drew the hammer, either one of the Vagabonds has the hammer now, or Warlord is holding on to it.
Yep.
I think those are the options.
Let's
I like the saboteurs.
attack.
That's going to be very nice, just in case something mean gets
Yep.
crafted by someone else.
That's just a really nice safety craft.
Or can I?
Just
Yeah.
Warlord's about to
Battle-
get a lot of warriors on their turn.
Battle of Vagrant, I guess?
Attacking me?
Oh,
Yeah,
Ouch. Okay.
that makes sense. You don't want to battle the lizards if you don't have to.
oh, ambush.
Okay. I will ambush.
Oh. Counter of different types.
That's amazing!
That's so great.
Mouse ambush countered by the buddy ambush. I love it. I love Lost City's so fun.
It is. I think it is such a great
Wait,
addition.
damage.
Such a great addition.
And I would love to see a landmark on
And
the winter and the summer being added.
Let's not get crazy here, Bucko.
Okay.
Oh, I think it'd be fun. I think it'd be fun.
Can I attack
Maybe at least the winter could be interesting.
Okay, no ambush.
No, wait. I was just thinking.
I choose to withhold my ambush.
Yeah, but I will.
You will? Okay,
Yeah.
go ahead.
That was good.
Mm,
Oh,
0-0.
0-0.
well, it's the end of my turn, so I will draw 1 card. And
Symmetricy?
We'll adjust the outfit.
Symmetricy?
Looks like it's gonna be mouse.
2
Sorry,
lost cities.
souls.
Oh my.
I mean, for real, I do think... Oh, I'm sorry, Granitap. I was just being silly. I wasn't trying to make fun of you or anything.
I mistype always in the chat.
It's symmetry. Symmetry is the word you're looking for in English.
And English is my first language, so
Yeah, I mean, I'm a big dum-dum all the time. I just... More seriously, I do think the fairy is interesting on winter. I don't think it needs it, but I think if you were going to put a landmark on winter, that's the one to go for.
yeah.
Thinking about it. I'm going to crusade here in the Lost City, and I'm going to go after the Ronin. Is there an ambush?
Oh man. These crusades.
So I'll spend 2 to do that, and I'll roll the dice.
I don't think autumn is as conducive to a landmark.
And we go 3-1.
okay.
It's hard because autumn is
3,
so open.
Right. But it also not in a way where it has like a central clearing the way Mountain does, you know?
Yeah.
And
As we get more maps, they'll be easier to put. They're like, oh, add landmarks here,
also,
do things like that.
Okay,
That gorge map just got posted, which
Yeah.
looks so good.
I mean, that's, according to BGG, that's officially part of the winter tournament, remember?
Oh yeah, I saw that.
Sorry about that.
oh, you become cost.
That was like the weirdest day when somebody posted that on BGG, just like, it's part of the winter tournament. Like, no part of that is accurate.
His relationship status to you is
But it's a great looking map.
Guerric said yes. Guerric definitely approved it.
No.
Well, it was especially funny because Patrick Leader posted in the thread like, it's Garrick's prerogative, whatever map he uses, but it's not official. That's not what we were referring to in the stream. And I was like, that's great, Patrick. It's also not legal in the tournament, so it's just doubly wrong.
Would you
Yep.
kind of hold off on attacking me?
Yeah, sure. I'm not.
Anyway, back to the game. It's a solid move from Lizards because it's shutting down, runaway aiding from the Ronin.
Yep.
You get to choose
Just shutting down that option for scoring.
warriors.
No, Lizards have done a really good job of stopping the aid strats.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now our Lizard's going to score
You're doing
6 points,
That
which I really hope so.
So I think you can choose to move that one.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it seems to be like,
You cannot move the Warlord.
oh,
Okay. Moved
Wait.
outside my turn.
All right.
oh,
so
it can't be moved outside.
Colonel Cabbage, Patrick loves maps, so I think it's going to happen at some point. But
I mean, Patrick
obviously-
has three or four maps that he's created, like as a fan of Root, like not in an official capacity, just in an unofficial capacity. So like they have some existing that they could do, that they could work on and release if they wanted to.
but it's up to them.
It's up to them. I'll also note that leaders said they had, like 4 factions going into the Underworld expansion. And you see what we got out of that. We got 2 factions. So just keep in mind that what they say is not ultimately what we end up getting.
They would decide what they want to. Are they putting gardens everywhere? Oh
I'm telling you, they're going for 5 gardens of all 3 suits.
Oh my gosh.
I mean, honestly, there's an argument to it. If your biggest threat are the Vagabonds, who have the hostile tax, meaning they don't have enough boots to go do multiple clearings, like in the same turn, you're decentralizing your threat this way. Your liability this way.
I think the thing that really stinks though is that they could have, like, Lizards could have easily had the options for the dominance and scoring
Right, I
in
know.
both their hands, which stinks. Ugh.
I don't actually agree that this is necessarily the best course of action Lizards could have taken. But I'm
It's what
I'm
they're
trying to
doing.
find the logic in it, and
Yes.
I'm trying to point out the merit it has because it's interesting, and I like interesting plays.
You're making a wall of gardens that the Warlord will not be able to cross. Wait, did they not score
I don't.
that mouse?
Oh, this should go.
They just discarded
Oh,
it?
no, does it stay here until it gets discarded?
Yes.
Yes.
They didn't score it.
Okay, stays there.
What did they do?
I don't think they did. I think they just let it go in.
That's my turn.
They only scored. They were at 10. They scored 2.
Recruit.
I don't know.
Oh my gosh.
Here.
This is a cursed game.
Now I change my mood, and that should be what? Let's go for Wrathful or Stubbler. Maybe Stubbler.
Oh man.
Now I craft this one.
Oh no.
Oh yeah.
There it is.
There goes
I knew
that.
it. I knew it. I knew
Okay.
it. And see, and this is why they
So-
should have been getting points.
That was the race,
Yeah.
I guess.
That's the best way to say that.
They thought there were only 2 competitors in that race. Turns out there were 3.
Esoteric, I agree. I think I think you can only win a dominance if you have all the dominance. That's how you actually win it.
They couldn't keep it secret for much longer. They cycled through the entire deck.
2 guys here.
So Warlord's actually not as bad because I think they can knock down Lizards, and they're recruiting a lot now.
Yeah, so I mean, I think we've gotten past that threshold we were talking about, where they were too thin and they were in a danger zone because of it. I think we're out of that space, and we officially have our engine online. The question really is it too late?
Yes.
That is the question.
I need
They need to score our press points. They need to go for a press and they can get 3 this turn
I think
or more.
attack the pink Vagabond.
They keep going for the Vagabonds
Because
and
I
not
have
for
a
oppress
crossbow.
points.
No, no,
Yeah, I still remember the crossbow.
the black
so,
vagabond
yeah.
has the crossbow.
Yeah, it's the black one. Sorry. Yeah. Yeah, the colors are. Yeah.
Now, if you do that and you keep moving and run over to those
But I would
clearings that have
like
no one
to
in the
hear
end.
from you.
Yeah, I mean, I would. I feel like your next course of action is to go get your 6 clearings
Yeah,
quickly.
I have no intention of going after you. If anything, I will give you cards next turn.
Love Shard. The Vagabonds slowed down a lot, somewhat intentionally, because they were searching so hard for the hammer. They each,
Gave up multiple points.
yeah, they chose to forego multiple points from questing.
So advance.
Not a ton of points, but
Go ambush.
points. Multiple points for each of them. Bloody.
And this is where that fight
Then
is so rough.
0 because I'm stubborn.
Oh, they are stubborn. I missed that. So
Wait, did Kook say they take 0 hits? They should still take 1. It was a 3-2.
but I think the Vagabond only had 1 sword.
Should I?
Oh,
Yeah.
I thought I just saw Ronin.
I just have 2 items left.
Well,
Maybe
you
I'm wrong.
have 2 more.
I think they added. I think the sword was already one sword was already damaged,
Okay.
and so I think they were. I think that's
You have
correct.
Also, the what is teapot and the back.
I mean, in that case, why don't you attack the vagrant?
Yeah,
Cook is really focused on just hitting and not going to get the easy points that are right
I
next to him.
cannot find-
Right.
What do you think,
Ooh.
Lizard?
Oh, sorry, you're right, Colonel Cabbage.
Yeah, should I attack?
They can't even leave there.
Right. They
because
needed to come over to like that bunny
Bunny-
clearing instead if they were gonna fight and move on. They like going into a garden means they're stuck now.
Good engine going.
Your option's either to turn back or fight your way through.
I think it might be a good idea to take them.
That sounds like he's just trying to throw off heat from himself.
Exactly.
Which means he's probably we should go after pink.
Pink.
That's what I think.
And
no
pink
offense,
is pink is pink. It's not the black. Yeah.
That's correct.
Okay.
But I can tell you, the lizards are about to have at least a 6-point turn, and I'm about to have.
Not if they don't score. They didn't score last time. They discarded the Mastodon. So.
Rats, if I can get Bunny as the suit here, I can move in and attack Vagabonds too. That's my hope. Actually, I'm going to focus on because if I can't build up if they're going to win. So
We're at 2 hours again.
if you
Yep.
ease off of me,
Oh, this is the long day.
It's gonna be a very long day. I don't see how this game isn't less than 4 hours.
Okay, so which one would you suggest? Pink or black?
I think you should ask the black vagabond which one he would.
What's funny
would attack.
is we could end it in a turn with the dominance.
It's true.
The lizard will give you points. Attacking
Hey, Gorky.
will not.
Well, he would give me 1 point. Nah, this is no. He's kind of ally with the.
I don't like the torch for the vagrant.
There are no coalitions here.
I'm tired, Gorky.
Oh, he has the torch. No.
Yeah.
So that's.
He's going to use it on us.
What are they talking about?
I'm not entirely
I
sure.
have to attack you, unfortunately. That's dangerous.
What's dangerous? Oh, the instigate, I guess.
I can promise you I won't use the torch on you.
Sounds like it. Yeah. They're concerned about instigate.
At least a 3-minute lag on this.
Okay, if you want, then I'm going after the dark one, the black one, because I just.
You're just wasting a turn on me because I will go to the forest.
Yes, I
I
do
have
think
2
the
items.
lizards are a good target here. I'm gonna agree with the other vagabond in this case, just because
How they-
have
How North
decent
Abbott
point
put
scoring
that?
turn coming up, and
I'm gonna
they
agree with the
are
other
not-
Vagabond.
us both.
Vagabond B.
But I do think it would be a waste of a battle to battle the Black Vagabond right now.
It's been a waste of moves.
Okay, trust your judgment. I know you'll make the right decision.
When people say that, it's
He
always
would probably
your right
lose.
decision is not hitting me.
No, it. Oh,
Yes, there are layers of unspoken meaning there.
Which
Yeah.
one?
What a day indeed, General Jack. What a day.
The repair is before the end of the turn, so you would get your back.
What the Warlord can do, though, is they can start instigating and just start burning down all of these gardens for
I
points,
don't want to attack lizards. Come on.
which could work out really well.
It could.
Lizards are the ones that have easy.
Like,
scoring.
if Warlord's able to instigate on that bunny,
They got at least 2 points for each.
oof,
For each.
lizards are in such a bad
But I've
place.
been nice to the Lord of Hundreds all game.
They are likely to get more than 2 points per suit, at least in rabbits, as long as they have a rabbit card.
That's the next faction, Gorky.
It's
Oh,
likely
yeah,
they're
yeah.
gonna fill up this,
Baby
this
elephants.
rabbit clearing with more lizards and gardens. That's 2 clearings with 3 building spots. So if he gets all 6 gardens down there,
Well, there's only
well,
5,
he only has 5 gardens that he needs.
and I don't know why you'd ever have it, but you know this is a wild game, so we're gonna
in
see.
rabbits alone.
You know, I just realized
Okay, then
we maybe need to start talking about gambling.
I don't. Well, yeah, we can. I don't know what we say though.
I don't either, but I just noticed
Part
that
of my
somebody hit 15 and nobody said anything. Nobody
part
was.
of my argument would be we do Vagabonds versus the others because one, they haven't won a game yet.
Let's do it.
So for one of them to win means that they get to advance.
Yeah, the bad decision.
Also because
Okay, so
the game's been so weird of how the scoring's been.
I don't know though. Do we think the Vagabonds are the 2 front runners? Because if they are, I want to split them up.
So you ignore the first one.
Not battle though. That's before battle.
I don't know who's
I
at
think
the
it's
front.
easy.
I don't know at all.
He ignored.
Because they both
the-
started aiding and then they had
the
swords and they lost their aid
ignore
points.
the
They
targets, this battle.
They're fixing it, Love Chart. They fixed it.
Evened out in the end, anyways.
Okay, I can live with that. Okay, so let's fight. Oh,
Okay, 3 to 1.
that's free. Oh, so I kill your garden.
Mhm.
Yep.
You get 1 point.
And
and
Fear the
you
Faithful.
lose a
Yeah, Spirit Bear. This game is hard to read and forecast, both because it's just very strange
So,
inherently,
I hope-
and players have made unexpected moves on top of it. So
yeah,
it's.
I think it
I
does.
think you should
I mean, this is just a roller coaster.
Bear in the lead. I'm going to
Yeah,
discard
it's-
a.
I-
Oh,
hard-
they're just grabbing a card.
Wait, it is-
Wizards,
is-
you just have to discard a random card. So
Yeah.
if you
All right, they fixed it.
and
They caught
shuffle
it.
your cards, rats can go ahead and grab one at random.
Sure, that's random.
If you highlight all your cards in your hand and click R, it shuffles them all nice and cleanly.
But you have to put it down.
Okay.
Otherwise, they can't
Alright,
grab
let's
them.
go ahead and grab a random
I'll
card.
play this one.
Oh, I guess they can't. I thought you couldn't grab from the hand. So
No, you can in this game.
T. All right. Inside. Should I inside? I should. Now press. I think I have 2 points.
I've had 4.
And I drew 1 card.
Gorky, even better.
That's it.
This is Soylent. I'm drinking people.
All right. I'm sorry, Steve. I think that was the right move. I'll go ahead and refresh 5 items.
Oh, we're on Vagabond.
And then in my birdsong, I'm gonna use my swap meet. Swap meet. I'll swap meet with the other Vagabond. Do you wanna shuffle your cards around and flip them?
So this actually might be the turn for lizards to go for bird dom.
All right.
Because
This one.
both vagabonds, like Ronan has to go into the
Let's
forest,
see.
I mean,
which I mean he'll get everything back, but
that
the
means
thing
that
is
Lizard
that-
should have done it last turn, though.
yeah, lizards. But I guess they should have done it last turn, but they're in a weird spot of like they might be able to because
So
of
there's the
hostile
Warlord.
status of everything, and if they put a garden in that bunny clearing,
I'll just give you
that the
this.
warlord can't easily reach it, and then the vagabonds also can't easily reach them.
All right.
But we'll have to see.
Now in my
Oh, lizards are looking at that bird dom. Their hands over it.
let's slip to a clearing.
Yeah, it is.
Do some quests.
They are looking hard at that.
Oh, this is...
One, two, 1, 2. All right, I will repair a. I'm going to repair a boot.
Gorky, that's just a reminder, an aid, so that people discard to the Lost Souls pile as opposed to the discard pile.
I'm going to. I'll slip over here to the mouse clearing. No, that's a mistake. Let me. Phew, I don't know where to go. It just seems like this is the safest place, but I know it's also not safe. I'm gonna slip over here to this rabbit clearing, and in this rabbit clearing, I will do a quest. Let me do
So
this one.
because of the outcast right now,
Um,
they can
which will
just
get me,
leave that bunny
2
garden
points, so I'll
and
exhaust
run over to the mouse one
that
and have
that
plenty
one.
to defend it.
Putting this right here, and I'll get 2 points there. And then
If they're looking at that bird
I
dom.
will,
Yeah.
And then they can also, well, do they have enough acolytes? No, they only have 3. If it was hated, they could also move those other ones over to the fox
I
to
will
defend
go
the fox.
ahead
It really doesn't feel like lizards are there yet for the bird dom.
No, I don't think so. They're so close.
and just move into. I'll move into this fox clearing here, and I will. So I'll spend that boot and spend. Oh no, I cannot do that.
Colonel Cabbage, I think you put moles in that out instead of Eerie. That's the no deck game.
Let's. I'm gonna just stay in.
No, because Erie put it in their decree. You know.
Oh, sorry. I guess you mean that. Yes, sorry. I thought you meant by drawing. No, that makes sense. Yeah, the no deck game. Everything's in your stuff.
I mean, I've seen it. It happens. It's funny.
Lily, we've got both Vagabonds at 16 points, Lizards at 12, Warlord at 9. And we're entering our 2-minute 13.
Ah, boy.
I'm gonna go take a jog, Guerric. I'll be back.
Yep. I'll see you in an hour. I don't say any of this to disparage the players.
No.
I'm just tired. This is just a long game. That's all I mean. That's all I mean.
No, it's you gotta if you're playing right, sometimes it takes longer.
It's true. No, it's actually true.
Your card. Submit.
Ouch. Okay.
Okay, so
All right, killing that swap meet.
sleep. Or do I sleep?
You said you are going to slip into the forest.
Ronan doesn't slip into the forest. This is,
But
I think, the lizard colt's turn
Yeah,
because
I will sleep into the forest.
okay.
Okay.
good choice.
What is adjacent to this? Huh. I think I will. This is a little forest, right?
Yeah, that is a tiny little forest.
Yep. The forests are so weird, especially if you're putting like badgers and stuff.
Mhm.
Like very weird forests.
So I will prepare everything. And draw one card.
So Bunny is outcast.
My turn. I'm going to adjust the outcast, which is going to move us to Bunny. Just outcast Bunny. Move that on my board. And discard the Lost Souls. Oh, looks like you've got it.
All the Doms are out.
Yeah, we'll
Fox one isn't out, but
Oh, well, almost all the Doms are
almost
out.
all.
put it back. And okay.
Oh yeah, no, esoteric. There's so much like there's so many different like if you're trying to play a specific game plan, your mind is just like blown. Like
Thinking through here real quick. Funny. I'm going to Crusade for 2.
To the corner.
okay. To the corner. If they're going to the corner, I think they're going for it.
And I'm just going to
Oh, they're doing it! Yes! Oh, Steve H is about to be a hero of the people.
Gonna leave my other one there. Move to daylight.
There's about to be a mad scramble if this is what is happening.
You'll want to protect that clearing of 3.
Oh no, he won't. Not if he's going for the dominance.
It's your choice, but right now it has 4 warriors.
Clearing of 3.
With one little crossbow.
I wonder if DZT knows what's going on because his mouse was just hovering over the bird dom.
He might.
I mean, I could just say 1. Okay.
Maybe they're not doing it. If you're going for that bird dom, you want to honestly, you'd send all of them over.
Not too much.
Maybe not all of them because you don't want to
No,
give away
yeah.
free points. But
Mouse, put a garden there.
Well, the double garden's good because that actually does help out. Your
right,
bird
I mean
dom.
that's one more hit that has to be chewed through.
Propaganda Bureau here. 2. And we'll discard this to score.
No, they
That's
can't
not how
do
we.
it.
That's not how we bird dom.
That's not how we bird dom.
All those 2 back.
We're establishing though. We
We're establishing.
this could become a bird dom,
Draw 4 cards.
or this could just race. Honestly,
Yeah. The thing that stinks is I wish that this fox thing had happened so much earlier. Like this,
Right.
what the situation that is now
these
is what.
that fox garden over here on the edge with the 2 warriors in it, that never should have happened. Like those actions should have just been spent on that corner from the start. You know.
Because what we've seen is that what they're doing is what they could have done like 3 turns ago, and it just stinks to see it like this. Because
I go for outie again.
Yeah, chat. Lizards did not have a bird card with which to bird dom this turn.
but they might now.
We also
drew
don't know that
4.
for sure that that's what Steve H is doing. Like Steve H is in a solid spot to race with points.
Yep. They lost. They've only missed out on 2 points because they lost that mouse dominance card that they should have spent to score the turn before. But our Vagabonds are plateauing a lot.
What I would have maybe liked to have seen instead of the crusade we did get is the 2 bunny warriors that are just hanging out on their own doing nothing into the fox
Move.
corner.
Yes. Yep.
I think I would have liked that a lot.
Yeah, let's go.
Oh.
For this exact reason.
Yep.
For this exact reason.
There.
Yep. That hurts.
Oh gosh.
I will ambush you.
Oh.
Okay.
He just top decked that.
Yeah, you did.
Oh, and it's countered.
That's like the third counter ambush in this game.
This has been so
The
much
hell?
ambush. This is crazy.
Okay, let's fight.
Ooh.
3-1.
Oh boy. Lizards are in so much pain.
Rip
Oh my
lizards. Holy
gosh.
moly.
I wonder if they're starting
Holy moly, ripperoni.
on our chances here.
No, we haven't yet, but we're about to.
Just one card.
Yes, let me shuffle them up real quick.
I think we can. I think we just set up a gamble after the Warlord's turn.
I think so too. What is it? Lizards, Ronin, Vagrant, Warlord, maybe?
I think so. I think you can do that. I think that's good pairs.
So that was one move, one battle. I feel I have to battle again.
Is this command? This is command, right?
Yeah, this is our third command.
Oh man, the Warlord's about to get a bunch of points
I
here.
don't have to roll, I guess.
Well, I'm not going to spend my ambush, so you can go ahead and take it.
It's so wise.
And I've shuffled my hand.
And I get another point.
Oh my gosh, you can score
I think you should attack the
4 points.
Vagabond because he's still going to pull ahead. He's got a decent amount of items. He's got a boot, hammer,
No, they're not.
and sword.
Score 4. Get into the
I
race.
know you're going after me, but I think you should probably turn your attention to him.
Get your 4 oppress points.
Tickled me pretty good. I can't really come back from that.
There's 4 oppress right there.
Okay, I'll do that then.
Ah, no.
Oh no!
Oh my god.
There's so many oppress points that are on the table.
So let's fight. Here.
Okay. No ambush.
Okay.
Two.
1.
How long was the game earlier today, Guerric?
4 hours. Like actually 4 hours. I think with at the end of the recording it was like 4 hours and 3 minutes or something.
Yeah. Okay.
And I think I have to do it again.
No, you need to go get oppress points.
Go ahead.
Luke, I think your head's gonna explode.
Oh, it's going to. I'm sorry, chat. I'm sorry.
Nice.
1, 2, 3. Full 1-2 punch. Alright, everything's damaged.
And the thing is, these
Except
players,
the-
they have their game plans. They're doing the things their way. I know how, like, when I was playing, like, you look at things as a commentator very differently than when you're
Yeah,
playing it because you
for
know
sure.
the information differently.
Like it's a completely different perspective of the game. You have different knowledge of the game. You're thinking about it differently.
And now
Yeah.
I get how many? 1,
1,
2.
2, 3.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so 2 points.
All right, are we still feeling Warlord Vagrant pairing, or should we switch it to Warlord Ronin after that turn?
Cards. Yeah, 2 cards.
I think Warlord Vagrant.
You can go.
All right. Gamble's open. Nobody gambling? Do I need to say it louder? Gambling is open, people.
Yeah, pink. you can
Yes,
go.
one
Yeah.
one moment.
Yeah, sure, sure.
We have 64 viewers and no gambles yet? What's happening?
Most definitely. So let me.
There we go. You're thinking. There's 3 acolytes now.
Well, I'll just refresh all my items, but then slip into forest.
This must be a challenging one if people had to stop and think about it.
Let's slip into. I think that forest. Let me just double check here. 1, 2, 1, 2. Yeah. I will slip into this forest and repair all my items, and the other vagabond is ready to run away with the game, I think. No, I'm just kidding. But
Got a
he
big
is-
turn. Yeah.
yeah. Anyway, repair all my items, and then I draw 2 cards. 1, 2, and I need to discard some. So we discard. Okay, that should be good for my turn.
What?
For my discards.
Okay. So I will refresh my remaining items. So here I will slip into this place here.
My goodness, everyone's neck and neck now.
Yeah. So I will.
John Gottschalk, it is the Vagrant Vagabond, the pink one, yes.
To move here. And I will exhaust 1 sword to attack. Any ambushes? Lizards?
Oh no. Oh, sorry. No.
3-0. Okay, so I remove both of them and score 1 point.
Not the target I was necessarily expecting.
I will exhaust my last boot to move here.
That makes more sense, actually.
You have to exhaust 2.
Nope.
No, it only applies with dreams and warriors.
Yeah, just with warriors present.
Oh. Oh. Okay.
This in the board it says hostile dreams, but in the rules it says dreams with warriors.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, that's one of those real trippy rules. So easy to not know or to get wrong. Because it is, I mean, it's realistically, it is just not on the board.
It should be here.
Yeah,
Murder?
Yeah, with any warriors. Yeah.
Okay.
So you are good.
And
Murder.
my other sword to attack you. Ambush?
No.
So that's 2 points.
Mario MD, they didn't realize, or I think Kook did not realize that a hostile clearing for the purpose of the hostile tax needing to pay an extra boot is exclusively if there are warriors in the clearing.
So I draw 1 card. I have to discard 1, so let me see. It doesn't matter. Got this.
I mean, not just that Granitap, but also the fact that they willingly chose not to score points from quests. You know, both of them should be, they should have been at 18, 19
Definitely going to be the
from the points they could have had. And they didn't take them.
outcast. I'll move that on my board. Discard the Lost Souls. Someone's already doing that. Form conspiracies.
I'm sorry, I just cracked my elbow right into the mic.
To let's see. May not be the best idea in the world, but we're going to do it just because it sounds like a fun idea.
All right, we're officially in fun mode.
To sanctify.
So I think we lost Luke.
One of your strongholds here. I'm sorry, I took your piece. That's the wrong one.
You score 1 point.
For 1 point. Thank you.
Can you hear me now?
Hey, there you are.
And then we use 2 acolytes here to convert one of your rats. Don't mind taking a rat from that fox screen.
Well, that's not how we bird Dom.
Daylight. I'm going to discard false orders to move half rounded up. It's going to be 2. So if I get to move your pieces. Oh, I will put them.
I think you have to follow normal movement rules, and because you have a garden there,
Ignores
it
rule.
causes him to have to retreat back into his own clearing, right?
False orders ignores rule.
Right there.
Ignoring rule, so you can ignore the rule.
Oh, you can ignore rule. Okay, no.
All right. Well, in that case, I'm going to put it up by the
North Abbot's correct.
Ronin there.
He just forgot that extra little bit.
No.
And we're going to go to my regular daylight. So, for 1 for mouse. 2 points.
I think the players are tired. They've gotten quiet.
Discard 1. Score
They just all sound subdued.
I have nothing else to play, so I'm going to go to my evening. I don't have any cards to return to my hand. I have nothing to craft. I'm going to draw 4 cards.
I agree, Colonel Cabbage. I almost said that. I would have preferred to have seen 2 converts over here than a Sanctify convert.
One guy,
I don't know what that's doing for you over here, in truth.
one guy here.
I don't even know what that False Orders is doing for you.
Ah,
They can just move right back in, if they care.
It's putting pieces around the map.
Right, I mean, realistically, it's helping Warlord in some ways.
this is a never-ending fight with these vagabonds.
Lizard Colt's in a decent spot, except for that.
No,
I don't know why they. I don't know.
The lizards
They're
are
overpowered.
I
Exhausted myself.
What hurts them by placing that there is it really. I
Just
don't know if it's worth the card that
Keep
they're gonna
it.
lose.
Right.
You might need to take out that one fox garden. But otherwise,
I mean, I guess maybe you could argue...
is the bigger.
Why does Vagabond only have 4 cards in hand?
the problem is the vagabonds attack me.
Or Lizard
They
Cult.
would be
Only have 4
on
cards in
the
hand.
side
Whatever I
of the
said.
map. I would not have to attack.
Yeah, Thungan, this game is cursed.
That's something to think about.
I don't know why Lizard Cult's down a card.
Okay, so attack.
That's
to
gonna-
my bush.
That's going to be a problem rolling into the... Anyway. I was going to say maybe Lizards were like...
Wow, that's 0. Okay.
And I know he scored, but he should have drawn for his end of turn.
Yeah, it's 0. Yeah, but it looks like.
Yeah, he should have scored. He should have drawn 4. They should have 5.
Oh, he had no cards. Okay. He had no cards and drew 4. Got it.
That door normally does not happen, but
That was the third action. So now, yeah.
Yeah, I was gonna. The reason I was asking, the reason I was following that thought line is because I was thinking maybe there was an argument for like putting out not like a decoy garden, but like a red herring garden, like something that draws heat, and then you can keep doing your thing in other places. But I mean, only having 3 cards is not going to be great.
I don't think I'm going to play my ambush.
I was feeling really good about the Warlord here, but then because of all this stuff, they're really not going to score much in a
I get a
press.
point.
Okay. You got me.
I mean,
Lose a card.
I don't think at any point this game we've seen Warlord push to race themselves. I think they've played very
Sorry.
reactively.
Okay.
And in fairness, for a good portion of the game, like the turns 2 through 4 or something, they didn't have much choice because they were beaten down so badly.
So
But I think at this point they could have
still use it,
pushed to control the pace of the game.
I guess.
Yeah.
Because this wasn't with your Warlord.
Oh yeah, sorry. So it's fine. It's fine. Good. Nothing have changed.
Mm.
Okay, but that
We're-
was one.
We're seeing the Vagabonds kind of sit where Vagabonds and Despot Infamy have sat a lot of times, where they get stuck at 16 to 20, 15 to 20 points.
Where did your acolyte go? Lizards.
That's a good question.
Sorry, what?
Sorry, could you repeat that?
Should have an acolyte.
Did you lose one card?
Oh,
I shuffled my cards and I'm waiting for you to
Yeah.
take one.
Okay.
Sorry, my bad.
And your acolyte.
Oh, yes. I
How many Fear of the Faithfuls have we had now this game?
appreciate it.
Is that the third, or have we had more?
I think it's the third. I don't think it's
I
been
think
more
we
than
can
that.
battle now. Do ambush here. Okay.
What we've really seen this game is this is what I've seen the Vagabonds. You think when they're playing against a Warlord is really useful is that the Warlord can punch the Vagabond, but the Vagabond stops a press.
Yeah.
But if the Warlord was running around the map, in the end it doesn't matter because then they're like, hey, you can only like I can get 8 clearings and then I still score
Right.
max.
And that's what I was
6.
talking about. Like the Warlord is continuing to play
That's
sort of like reactively and with a mind for controlling the other factions rather than racing themselves and trying to win that way. Oh,
What?
because if last turn or even this turn, if Warlord had just gone for a blitz and started getting those oppress points, like the table would be forced to react, and then the Warlord could continue doing that, and I don't know how much the table could do.
So you oppressed
Yeah.
for how many points?
2.
1, 2. Yeah, correct. Sorry.
I think the Lizards are the threat,
No problem.
Wow.
but they aren't as thick as they should be on those clearings.
Right, Lizards are the threat, but they've made some,
So,
I guess, questionable moves that have put them in a
here is.
strange spot.
Has it? Oh, we're almost through the deck once more.
It's amazing how all these
Let me just.
the points of the coins and the swords are out there free.
Yeah.
And we could see Lizards score a ton of coins points
Then I will.
We could.
with their with
slip
what they've got.
over To.
And it would not be outside of the realm of possibility to see a turn where Lizards built a 4th Rabbit Garden and crafted both coins in the same
Yep.
turn with, God tier draws and the Outcast lining up.
Over to this mouse clearing.
Easily could
And then that
put
goes
Lizards in that winning.
to the-
I think Lizards on a 2 to 3 turn clock right now.
I feel like
I'll do
they're probably on a 3-turn clock due to losing that garden just now.
this one.
Like that whole last turn, I think, put them
For
in a
1
weird
point,
spot.
Yeah.
1 measly point.
So what's happening right now?
And,
I think I was
so I
muted when it
spent
was
this one
happening.
and
This
this
was
one.
where I was sad that the Ronin ran over to that bunny
And
because they could have scored
Um,
both of those mice and stopped the Vagrant from scoring them,
Yeah.
I will craft
and they didn't.
tours.
And then they got punched. So it was like the worst case scenario.
And that will be all I can do on my turn. So I will draw 1. Let me reshuffle. Shuffle, and draw 1 more.
Chat's quiet too.
And then I.
It's funny, we have a lot of viewers.
I just need to discard down to 5.
Mario MD, we have 2 Fend Off of Bears and a fundraising. Ronin does not have a coin, so it has no access to that one. And Vagrant does not have a crossbow, so it doesn't have access to those two. So that's the weird stalemate we're in at the moment.
I think Fend Off a Bear should change to where you get the outcast meeple from the Marauders, and you have to fight it.
I will refresh my items. 1, 2,
Um,
4, 5.
Colonel Cabs, the problem is it made them discard a random card,
Here.
you know? And again, they could have converted the 2 rats that were down here
I will repair.
and built down there instead of scoring and like started reestablishing.
I will use my crossbow.
Or just recruited more down there and reestablished.
Sanctify is only best used as a win condition and not really during the game.
Unless you have like a bunch of suited cards you can recruit with
Yes,
or something.
Yes, it's like unless you can protect it super well and just be like, ha ha ha,
Right.
I've got this.
I think it's a
You don't
super
really want-
common lizard mistake to overextend and sanctify without being able to protect it.
Yep.
I think it happens a lot, and I think this is just what we saw here.
And
I know. I was about to miss it.
1, 2, 3, 4. No.
Did Ronin have that many damaged items already? Wow.
That's the hard thing, is that these vagabonds are just getting punched like really hard by the Lord of Hundreds, and I mean, I guess it's keeping the game slow for the Lord of Hundreds, but
There's the roll.
2 hits. That is 2 points for me. And I end my turn. I need to discard 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 1. I will discard.
You can lose 1 boot.
1 boot.
You don't need 3
Yeah.
boots.
yeah. Well, you need 5 boots, but
And
Well, yeah.
discard. And I will. Let's see the outcast. Do we want Fox to be faded?
oh, there goes another. Who discarded that bunny for the
Yeah, why not?
coins?
I'm not
Was that-
sure. Maybe
Was that the
maybe Vagrant?
Vagabond? Okay.
No, I'd like to say that I think our public enemy number 1 should be the Ronin before I start my turn. I'm going to go ahead and adjust the outcast, but it looks like it's already on Fox, so I'm going to flip it to Hated. I'll do that on my board. On the Lost Souls. Oh, someone got it. Thank you.
Lily, Guerric's moving it.
No, you can
points
go and say it.
are, okay, points are, is White Vagrant or Ronin? I can't
White is
remember.
Ronin.
So Ronin is 22. Lizards are
I'm
19.
going to
Vagrant is
save.
50. Or, sorry. Yeah,
17?
Vagrant is 17, and then Warlord is 16.
Here, oops, this didn't go where it's supposed to go. No battles, though, because nobody's there.
Yeah, John got shocked. I know what you mean. It's a very cagey game. It doesn't have
Yeah.
like big exciting swings or anything like that. So I totally understand why engagement is low at the moment.
If we had the bird dom, the engagement would be high. Oh my goodness, they're throwing out another one.
Well,
Place 1. And
So they're scoring.
Rabbit Partisans to get 60 points still behind the Vagabond. Now I know it looks like I'm doing well, but I really think I'm kind of capping out here as I'm losing my cards, my action economy.
It's the choice of the Lizards player.
right. I really don't support these garden builds when you're so poorly defended, you know?
They're like, oh, I'm losing all these cards, but it's like because they're giving the cards to lose, sadly,
Right.
And it really stinks.
To discard this.
Discarding a swords, really.
And
Yeah, they could craft that.
Maybe they drew 2? I don't know.
Maybe.
So let's recruit.
We could wildly
Oh.
speculate about anything.
Yeah.
Change the moon. Yeah, let's go for Wrathful. Can I? Yes. I can. Crafting. No crafting.
I don't know if the extra sword would matter.
I mean, it doesn't matter if you win.
Yeah, like if in the end, if it's like, oh, if I'm gonna get these points, like, what does it do? So let's see how many points the Warlord scores this turn. Could be quite a bit.
This is 1 more.
They can get 4.
Yeah, chat. I'm sorry to break this to you, but I think the dream of Bird Dome is dead.
Yeah, it was there earlier, and it's dead. Yeah, you really don't need to win the whole tournament. You just need to win in the minds of the people. And a Bird Dom with lizards would win in the minds of the people.
Yeah, everyone knows you don't get eliminated if you win in the hearts of the people.
Like, no one talks about the winner of the tournament. They're like, but you remember, they're like Steve H when he got that Bird Dom win with the lizard? Oh, it's a game.
Move 2 more here.
He'd probably be immediately interviewed on Woodland War Machine, too. So,
Just bump whatever guests they had scheduled for the week.
yeah. Dump you easily.
Are you able?
Leader has a secret reward
Yes.
tier for this person.
And I'll take these 2 guys.
Oh. You're going to punch Ronin and not score more.
And attack.
With only 2 warriors?
Did
Wait.
you
I hope they ambush.
did you recruit in all your
Yeah.
clearings? Just making
Yes.
sure you have enough warriors for everything.
Yeah. It's I'm
Alright.
I've been careful since the beginning.
Too careful.
Since that thing happened.
Colonel Cabbage, it puts them at 29.
Pretty
But yeah, that's my point, is it puts them very close.
Oh, you died.
Yeah. And you get 3
Ouch.
damage.
So the Warlord
This is-
just suicided
Yeah.
Yes.
into the Ronin, which had 2 undamaged items.
Yes.
Wow. Extra hit, yeah.
I'm gonna be honest, I don't get it. And I'm just gonna level with you.
No. This game has a lot of I don't get it, but you know,
Right. Press now.
we're gonna see. They get 3 points.
Yes.
This is their first 3-point oppress
And
this
I go-
game. Oh man. Oh man, this is well, and I'm curious to see how I don't feel like the Vagabonds are in like 2 or 3 turn clocks. I think they're a lot slower.
Refresh
than
my
that.
items.
Well, I mean, I think
2, 3, 4.
well, I mean, certainly Ronin is on a slower clock now that it's going to the forest.
But Vagrant's down at 17 points
I'll
and
slip
isn't.
to
Yeah, but Vagrant's got
this
2 fox quests done, 2 bunny quests done, 1 mouse quest done. If
That is true.
it goes hard
They
on
can start-
questing for a couple turns, with the right quests that come out,
They can only do 1 though right now. and if
right,
They don't.
that's-
And if another crossbow one gets pulled, they're done on quests until they get done by the Ronin.
Do this fox quest. So let me
Get 3 points.
exhaust both my tea and my coin.
They're about to burn items. Right? No, they're not. Sorry.
no, not yet, not yet.
I'll get 3 points.
They said cards. I would have
2, 3.
lost it.
Um,
Okay, they can do that one.
They could do that one. Could do it this turn.
and
Yep.
then I'm going to
This is one of the things that stinks about not being in the Lost
1, 2,
City.
3, 1, 2, 3.
If you're in the Lost City, you don't have to move.
I
You can
will-
just
Right.
stay there.
Right.
attack the lizards here.
What? No!
I won't play one.
Okay.
I mean, in fairness, the quest is 2 points. This is
Sword
2 points and
One?
policing.
battle.
Well, they only have 1 sword.
Battle this game.
Can't
That's
kill the
true.
garden.
No, you're right.
And
No, wait, I don't get it anymore.
What? No, they can't. What are you doing? You can't take it. Don't lose the garden.
Wait,
No!
what? Yeah, what?
No!
What?
No!
Oh,
just
Ah!
I
No!
just have the one
I think we're gonna instigate. I think we're gonna instigate for the other battle.
let me,
Yeah,
no,
but
no.
Okay. Oh yeah. We can
That's-
instigate it. We can instigate it.
Yeah.
Esoteric. It's a more accurate pronunciation.
And then I will exhaust my torch to do one more battle.
I say Ronin. I say Samurai. It's just me being a weeb.
Okay. All right.
Just me being from the United States.
And then 2 points.
and let me shuffle my hand here.
All right. Oh. Another fox card. All right, and in ending my turn, I draw 1 card.
Did lizards lose their? Or they did lose the card.
Yeah, they lost a Fox T.
Discard down.
Man, this is where it's been hurting. They've just been losing more and more. The fox doesn't hurt them that much, but like,
Yeah, I was just
They've been
thinking that
losing.
may like if any card to lose, that's probably the card to lose
And
because hopefully that means they still have a bunny and a mouse. You know.
1, 2, refresh.
so we're about to
1, 2, 3. doesn't
skip
matter.
the Ronin's turn and
Skip
move on.
Oh, now you're saying it.
Oh no, I'd rather be accurate then.
So repair everything.
I'd rather be accurate. I'm all for historical accuracy and cultural accuracy.
Got chalk. Got it. I don't know how to pronounce it in German. If you tell me, I can try. But otherwise, I'll go with got chalk.
Do we want to
I wish I could pronounce it in
we
German.
need to be Fox-gated? No.
We are almost to 3
we
hours.
want it to be mouse.
I feel it.
Possible. Well,
Bunny, right?
I don't think we want it to be bunny.
Bunny is so good for lizards right now.
Do you think he has coins?
It's possible.
Nice.
They're drawing 4 cards a turn. It is.
Yeah, let's check out the discard pile. I don't know. He's getting pretty close, so I just don't want to push him over the edge if we can avoid it.
I'm getting it.
What's weird about these points, I think we talked about this before, like the game looks super entangled, but I don't think the point scoring is because it was really entangled. Like, I mean, it has been entangled. There's been a lot of fighting, but not needed, I guess, as much. I don't know.
Right. I mean, players could have been greedy and raced so much more than they have. They have elected of their own volition to be actively policing each other when it was not strictly necessary.
Yeah.
The lost souls.
So we can see 4 points from the lizards. This is where it really stinks because they didn't score 2 points earlier.
Right.
Right. I mean, this is where every action matters, every score matters.
For one moment here. Okay, I'm going to do 2 conversions. Down at the bottom corner here.
Goat.
John, are you just saying you're the goat?
That's what it feels like. Which, you know,
Biggest flex on
respect.
stream. Yeah.
You got the confidence, respect.
Going to.
We have the goat in the. Actually, that should be one of the next factions.
What, a goat faction?
Yeah, and then you can just say you're the goat.
Do that. Let me just think that before I put the piece down. Reveal to place a lizard here. Just got to play a little defensively because I think that Vagabond's going to go after me.
Yes, yes, you
yes.
should, yes.
I think the time for defensiveness was 2 turns ago, but I will take it now.
Yeah. Lizards are the faction for defensiveness.
I'll discard 1 to score 2.
Okay. Score 2 more?
And
I mean, we just revealed a bird card that like if that last card isn't a bunny, we could have dom swapped.
We could have dom swapped.
Have we seen a dom swap all game?
No, we have not.
city here, so
Oh, we could have dom swapped.
We could have dom swapped.
No.
put 1 there.
You always got a dom swap.
Always.
And
Oh, that's another 2 points.
box. I cannot. So, I'm gonna
So
go-
they would, let's say that they would have been at 27, and
Kaznar, that doesn't surprise me. There's a fan faction for everything.
they're a Guerric fan faction.
Yes.
Okay, one here.
Katari, Steve H did score mouse once. So we did score mouse.
Oh, it's my little heart though.
This- Gonna be stubborn again.
I'm going to bed after this game.
What, you don't want to go play a game of Root after this?
No.
To crap.
Whoever's playing tomorrow, play quick for Guerric's sake.
Yeah, this is bad.
Lily's watching and laughing. She's like, haha, I'm so glad I didn't have to cast this.
I said during round 1 that I predicted we would have 1 6-hour game. And it's not yet happened.
I have to
It's not yet happened.
make new Warlord. I think it will be this one.
Oh.
Do they score more than 3 oppress points? Or do they just run over and punch this vagrant? That's what we could do a gamble right now of what does the Warlord do.
We already have an active gamble. We can't undo it.
We can't do 2 gambles. You're
No,
not
you
allowed to do
cannot.
2
You cannot do 2 gambles.
That stinks.
We could do a poll, but you can't wager money on it.
Yeah, I know.
We could do a poll. That'd be fun.
So just make sure you defend your things.
I don't think I'm going after you.
Yeah, of course.
The lizards then.
Why?
They. I don't know.
Oh, wait.
Guerric, so ignoring like how the game like has gone and everything like that, in let's say we had all these factions on this map again, do you think lizards would
Is the second?
be favored or in a rough spot?
Now I
Like
can,
do you think that they have a good chance or a okay chance?
I think they have a good chance. I think it
if I play
it very much depends upon how the Warlord, Vagabond triad goes again.
now go here.
Because this time lots of items went to the Vagabonds. The Warlord got smacked down very hard. But if that had gone,
I don't think you should attack.
the opposite way, if Warlord had gotten very powerful and had started running away with the game, I think that would be very bad for Lizards. But if we had a similar outcome, a similar dynamic where the Vagabonds oppressed the Warlord, I think it would have been very good for Lizards.
Yep. So we just lost a press point by moving away from the bunny clearing.
Yeah, I just noticed that.
I don't think they are useful for him.
Katari, I do agree. I think Vagrant has a very strong
Okay, let's
chance in this mix if they execute the 8 strat properly. And that's almost where like maybe Lizards and Warlords stay out of the Lost City.
Yep.
Maybe.
I don't think you want lizards to be in the Lost City if you have Vagrant who can aid because
Yeah.
you will be
Perfectly, it kind of-
feeding them a win.
Right.
With that.
1 point. One
Because you can score max like 6 points a turn.
card. And
They can score like 10.
Right.
Okay. Mm,
And Root's only a 30-point game, so that's 3 turns to win.
stuck. All right, let me refresh my items. So I'll go 1, 2, and 3. All right, and then I'll slip into this mouse clearing, and I'll do
Okay.
this.
Guard duty quest.
Gonna get 2
Before I-
points from that.
Exit my daylight. Is there any cards I should? Nobody's crafted any crafted
can-
improvements this game, it
Oh,
seems.
he's looking for saboteurs. I was like, he doesn't have swap meet anymore.
So I can't use my saboteurs for on
There was a
anything.
few, but not many.
Yeah.
Not many.
Anyway, I'll do this quest in my daylight then. A torch and a hammer for
A sword?
2 points.
Hammer, sword, same diff. Ooh, that's unfortunate.
That means I cannot do any more questing.
They
Yeah,
would
that
get
is-
4 points from that though next turn. They can win on their next turn.
And so I will.
I mean, it has to stay in the quest display until
Yes,
their next turn.
which
That's
is
the thing.
yeah, which is it's probably won't.
Probably
Because if
won't.
the other vagabond is looking,
my boot
Right.
they're gonna take it.
Right.
And let's see, use my boot to just kind of run away.
Granado, yes, we somehow do oppress less than what we
So
start. We
I
get
draw one
smaller.
card.
We went less
And
oppressing.
discard
The
one.
this is a peaceful warlord. They don't want to
Discard
force their beliefs
Actually-
onto the woodland.
before I. Yeah,
Very
discard,
inclusive, some might say.
discard. I think so. Yes, I do.
One might say the warlord leans
Yeah, we
left
wanna
in this
set
game.
Outcast, I think, on mice.
Okay, I think I need to remove this quest from
Yes,
Yes.
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 Ronan is like, yeah, I'm gonna
my remaining sword.
not let that stay.
Back here.
Where did they slip from?
This
I honestly don't know. I looked up just after they moved.
T and
Because I'm amazed that these vagabonds are staying so far away from the lost
I
city.
will get 1 point. See what else comes. Oh,
Oh, and the vagrant is locked out.
Does Ronin go after this though? Because it's 2 points.
you can.
It is.
So I
Indeed.
think I just stay like that.
That's
For now.
rude.
That is rude.
So rude.
That
All my
is
point
so
potential is
funny.
gone.
Steve H, nice play.
Okay, so what do I do with my remaining turn?
He said it in the chat.
Yeah, I saw that. This is why I do support some sort of
Can I attack?
quest overhaul. This is not exactly bueno.
Currently, it looks like it's the lizard's game.
Yeah, I cannot
Unless
reach.
you can.
I cannot reach.
Man, that's so tragic for Vagrant to just get locked out like that. Wow.
Yeah, it really stinks.
Again.
Yeah, next turn. I'm thinking 2 turns. I don't think the lizards have it on the next turn, but
They
definitely-
could if they had scored the 4 points that they should have scored.
Yeah, I'm completely
Problem is
destroyed.
I don't have the cards I need to really do anything. I'm kind of
Ugh.
stuck myself. My hand is not that great.
Mm.
I mean, you have 5 cards.
What round is this? Like round 10?
Right.
the suits
A lot.
Lily chimed in to say it was round 9. I feel like a half hour ago, so
I mean, you need 7.
it's 11. Lily says it's round 11.
Wow.
I mean-
Rehabscape, yes. Vagrant would get 2 points for inciting instigating
I think I will have.
a fight between 2 hostile factions.
So,
11 rounds.
uh,
Oh.
case study for a quest refresher.
Now I need to move.
We're over 3 hours, so
Use my 2 boots. And attack. Any ambush?
Mm-mm.
Okay.
Nothing.
can.
Nice.
So I will just use the running ability
Oh,
to exhaust.
not battle again. Not get 2 hits, but get the 1.
Interesting.
Well, I mean, you only need 1 to get a point with Despot
That's
Infamy.
And
So why risk
is
taking hits?
That is true. That is true.
That's amazing. This is amazing.
we don't.
I'm so glad this game is happening. I just wish I didn't have to sit through. No, I'm kidding.
Okay.
Oh man.
Let's see if Steve H is able to like get really close to winning next turn.
Alpha hated to mouse outcast, and I'll change that on my board.
Hey, Rudy, I've never said Ronin had a bad ability. It's a not great ability paired with not great items. That's the problem.
Thank you. Conspiracies, there are none.
Yeah, the double boot is, I think, so rough for the Ronin. Like,
Right. I mean, it's doing nothing. What are you doing with 2 boots? This game's sponsored by Weird Root. It feels like it.
Feel
What is Warlord doing, Gooey Kablooey? They're
not oppressing.
turtling up.
Man, I wish I could coalition.
Yes.
I don't know what Steve H is doing exactly.
I want to go for dominance. Let's do it.
Oh my gosh, they're just burning more
Maybe there should be a vagabond with 2 pawns.
cards.
Why are we discarding that? Okay.
reveal, not a discard. What am I doing?
Getting tired, I think.
Yeah, when you have games this long, you definitely.
It's okay, actually. What I'm going to try to do here is switch that out. I'm going to reveal the ambush for that.
Oh, and then they are scoring. Okay,
You know, I like that.
I do like that. If it's helping them get like to the close. That's the thing that stinks. They've lost 4 points. This might have put them to.
Still can't quite get.
They might have won this turn.
Have to do that. All right. All right. To reveal a card.
Why? Why not score?
He's got 2 more cards. He's got 2 more cards. Score.
Score?
And
No.
Score.
No,
Score.
don't score.
this to score.
Okay,
for
good.
mouse.
Which they would have won if they had scored the other.
But I definitely
But
don't have it. I think that's where my game ends.
no. Is that a bird?
Just for
You can
options,
dom swap.
I'm going to discard this to take the
No.
my hand.
He's going
Oh
for
my.
dominance.
I think that's going to be I don't think it's a viable option, but
No. The other viable option is to take that bird or to take the bunny and score. My brain's exploding. I'm sorry, chat.
I'm going to draw my cards back.
I'm just. So that's 6 points.
To craft
You need to hit them.
4 cards.
It's a coconut tank.
Desserts.
I would rather have a win that was sooner than a slow win when it doesn't.
I have no words.
Okay,
I just have no words.
I really got it. I'm full of blue cards here. I'm kind of stuck.
This must be a misunderstanding of dom swapping, right? Like Steve H just must not realize you can trade a bird for a suited.
Yeah.
I've never seen somebody who knew you could trade a bird for the bird dom, but not know you could pick up the other ones. That's why I'm flabbergasted right now.
You need to
I've never
hit
seen
the
that.
cards.
And just what hurts so much about it is that is
It
there's like so many points that are on the board that the Lizards could have won at this point.
Right.
It just really
Right.
hurts.
So
Like
I don't want that.
I don't blame anyone for not knowing about dom swapping. I'm
Yeah.
just surprised that Steve H dom swapped for the bird dom. Because that indicates some understanding of the mechanism.
I think
And typically that would indicate a full understanding.
you're
That's the only reason I'm so shocked here.
destroy everything.
Yeah, but it would not help me.
Yeah, Dom swapping's a thing you don't always know until you see someone else do it.
Mhm.
Like Vagabond would destroy me. The rest, like my base, and so it would not.
I remember when like people first started doing it, there were people in the root community who were upset that it existed because they were like, this feels like a loophole. This feels wrong. This feels non-thematic.
Just leave.
They were wrong, and we banned them, and now it's accepted.
And go for oppress, then again, the Black Vagabond would destroy everything. And
No, I just.
So Warlord is like,
Space.
there's no way the Warlord wins, right?
I don't think so.
No,
The Warlord really had to push to race, you know,
no, well,
2-3 turns ago,
I wonder.
and the Warlord at every turn has chosen to
Vagabond.
like compress their forces.
That's also possible, and I cannot stop
Five
that.
So-
points and yeah.
It looks
Okay,
like.
so can Ronan win?
cards. I don't know if you change your move.
Because
If you
if
have changed
Ronan
your
gets
move yet,
punched, that's the thing, is if Ronan gets punched here,
Oh, you already did.
Ronan might not be able to
I
win,
was
and then it
just
goes to
thinking maybe you could
Lizards.
just
Right,
insight them.
right.
'Cause Vagrant can't win. Vagrant is
Uh,
locked out of
just put it all
quests.
into the-
And I think quests were Vagrant's only path at this
actually
point.
Next turn.
And honestly,
Get a
and
bunch of
Vagrant
points
can't
out
even
of
get
it.
to where they need to go to like do
I
anything.
mean,
So
if we stay like this,
Stop by Rudy.
Yeah.
they just need 3 points.
Yeah, that's.
Chat, if you think about it, nobody has any issues with lizards using bird doms or bird ambushes in any clearing. And it's the same principle. Like lizards are allowed to use bird cards as bird cards
Go and attack
for anything except
I would have to roll.
for rituals, you know? So you just follow that logic. You can grab dominance cards from the display
or something
by
like
trading matching cards. Birds match.
that. It would still not.
All you're doing is just following the mechanisms, you know, as they intuitively work
So
for other things.
the only thing I can do is battle in this fox clearing, and I can't even take out that garden. I can take out the 2 warriors. Now, if I do that, I think the other vagabond can go in here, and then next turn slip, just move into here.
so Ronan, let's see what points Ronan can get because they're at.
I almost don't know if it even is worth calculating until Warlord takes their turn, because that's going to change the calculus so much.
Yeah.
You know, whether Warlord chooses to battle the Ronin, whether the Warlord leaves things lightly defended or softens up lizards.
If the
Like it's just going to completely change the calculus.
Yeah, I guess the only reason I was thinking about the calculus is that the Warlord maybe is thinking about it of if they punch. Oh nope, they're just afraid of him. They're just not gonna let the.
I don't have enough actions to win. So
I feel like Kook has made it his game plan to harass the Ronin all game.
Yeah, which
If you promise.
if we look at this, it doesn't win you the race with how it's been working. You know, like it doesn't help you win that race. I mean, it can if you're doing other things, but not with how it's happened.
Chat's pointing out that Ronin is sitting on 5 points in questing between Expel Bandits and Fend Off a Bear. This is very true. This is very true.
It's true.
I think they're going to grab that win.
It's true. So just make
So,
sure you.
I think the Ronin here needs to be checked because they got all their items.
That does only put Ronin at 29 though, and I don't know where that last point comes from.
Score a bunch of points.
Because if they get
1, 2, 3.
do that, they would burn 4 of their items. And honestly, to get that, they also have to lose their swords, so they can't.
Right, they can't battle, so they're not getting infamy points. They're hostile with everyone, so they can't aid.
They'd have to shoot something that'd be left
one of these quests.
by itself.
Right.
I cannot do
If-
2.
So one
Unless-
quest gives him 2.
Chugale, if you're something you should take note of is we are playing with Despot Infamy. So the Vagabond meta is very different than normal. Than what you're probably experienced with.
2 swords
um,
are
The relationship in the meta is very different for Vagabond right now because the Vagabond is much weaker than traditional.
That should
Which-
be here, right?
which doesn't really get him the win. And that I think that should be in that rabbit clearing, but
Despot Infamy states that you gain 1 point for every battle where you remove any number of hostile pieces, as opposed to the traditional rule where you gain 1 point for each hostile piece removed.
The right pieces. If you leave a lot of buildings undefended
In battle.
he might
On your
take
turn.
the win. He might take it.
The thing that's also could happen is that if they punch the lizards too much, the lizards could
I think we're gonna open it up.
convert those or sanctify those fox strongholds and get points from that.
Actions when that vagabond's gonna just take out your stronghold.
I don't see how lizards don't win their next turn.
I don't either.
But
With these warriors, you can do your prowess with the second part of your daylight.
But it's too far. It's like I would end up with 1 attack.
1, 2. I mean, you can do 1, 2
Yeah.
attack.
Gooey Kablooey, are we sure that one is left in the deck? There's only 2 cards left.
Attack with your warlord.
And I don't remember which items that one requires. Because the other issue is
Maybe this.
Ronin only gets 3 refreshes, which have to be the sword, torch, which leaves you with the bag hammer.
Yep.
Is that the quest? A bag hammer?
As long as you leave a warrior in this clearing.
hard thing also is really where the lockout is that these craft points are not able to be taken by
Right.
either of our vagabonds.
Um,
That's where one thing that really stinks for the
so
Ronin,
it's
the Ronin
going
is
to
that
be,
they
So, okay, if
lost
you-
by going for that hammer early. That game for that hammer that we forgot about forever ago.
Mm-hmm.
They lose that point that they could have had.
attack here.
It's a risk.
I don't
Way
I don't
earlier.
win anything from attacking you, so
Yeah, but that, yeah, so, but is that
Well, Gooey Kablooey, if you only refresh 1 sword, you don't do Expel Bandits, is the thing. You need both swords for that quest.
alright? So, what was it? I'll just take these 3 guys. And attack here.
I don't think there are any mouse quests left. Aren't there 5 quests of each suit?
Oh, and the ambush. Oh, counter ambush. Oh my gosh.
Counter ambushes every time!
That's like 4 of those.
That's ridiculous. How many freaking counter ambushes in this game?
I think it's 4. I think we've seen 4.
That's insane.
This is wild.
nice.
That's 1 point.
There actually was an argument not to use your ambush because it gives you more cards to
Right.
have a chance of loot to discard and keep your other ones protected.
Right, so that was actually a big gamble because now the lizard is down 2 cards.
Okay. Yep. Let me shuffle my thing here real quick.
Yeah, they're down 2 cards.
Oh,
Oh.
Oh my gosh. Oh.
oh boy.
Well, we know they have 2 mice and a bird.
Oh.
Nice.
There that goes.
Oh, and that's so weird. Why would you not burn the bird ambush?
Yes, that is an ouch.
Unless you
Because
know about
the-
Dom swapping.
That is, well, I don't know.
I think you need to move your warlord at least.
Yeah, I will.
Well, they can score 2. We know that.
Then let me think.
Do they have the bird? Like, do they have the bunny?
They have 3 cards.
I don't even know.
So we need to take those 1.
I don't even know. I'm gonna go back to counting quests.
Our brains have just
All
been
right, there's-
blown apart left and right.
Yeah, okay, so there's 1 fox and 1 rabbit quest left in the deck. There's no more mouses left in the deck.
Chugul, I don't know how to pronounce it. The reason why there's been so many counters is because of the Lost City, and
Right.
because you can have different suits match. You can counter with different suits, and that's the only reason we've had all of these different ones. Because like there was a few with the bird being wild and then the suited, but then it was like, oh hey, here is it. Like it's statistically high.
I have to think about this.
I'm gonna go look at the quests because I don't know the quest deck well enough to even.
I don't either. Let's see what we got left.
Yeah, for now. Move one here. I take 4 here.
Wait, what?
I can, right? Or
Yeah,
with what?
but why did you move this one here?
Or oppress?
Yeah, but you won't be able to attack anymore.
I cannot do that. Anyway,
What?
we agreed that I'll just go here.
Yeah, but then I don't think we can stop him anymore.
So DZT doesn't sound like they've got it on their turn.
Why not?
Yeah, I'm looking at the quest to try and calculate if there's anything, and I'm not.
2 cards, like a rabbit and a mouse and figurines. He
Yeah,
has
but
3 cards.
you play before him, so you both can stop it.
I only have 2 swords.
Yeah, so what was the plan then? Because that's what I thought we agreed on.
Well, we can't go back.
I don't see any world where the questing works out.
Move your warlord here.
I don't see any world.
Prowess, move your warlord here.
But I cannot move. I cannot move.
Yeah, Ronan.
Rona's in 1 bunny, 1 mouse, 1
Yeah,
fox.
they're one on
With the move.
everything.
Can I?
And with only 3 refreshes, I just don't think anything works out.
No.
The Vagrant is in a great spot for quests if it wasn't locked.
Yeah,
out.
they're locked out of them.
I feel so bad for North Abbot. Like,
Yeah, I mean,
like so close.
I mean,
and
both
then just
both Vagabond players have played very solid games,
Yeah.
and they're just, oh,
Mm. Okay, so we would suggest to go.
you don't suck, Billy.
Okay, so that will be your 3rd command. Right.
Yeah, and now 1, 2.
I mean, if you still want to oppress, you can leave one of those there.
Actually, RK, the 2 VBs are the 2 players that don't have wins.
Yeah, I don't change anything.
well, right now the Warlord's only oppressing 1 clearing again. So
Okay.
Okay, so let's attack here.
Battle mat does look broken. We'll see how much it matters yet. We'll see.
1 oppress point.
It broke.
Do you see anything?
No,
Or-
no ambush.
I think it's stuck.
Oh,
This is.
What the hell? Why did my camera's being weird?
Oh. Guerric is purple. Do we need a new battle mat? It looks like it.
Where's the battle mat? There.
It was used so many times that it got stuck.
I think this dice got locked or something.
Yeah.
Just ignore that die. Use the battle mat where it is.
Okay.
You can't delete it once it gets stuck like that.
Okay, so let's try again.
Why is my camera doing
This is
that?
rough.
3-1, you do 4 hits.
And I'm wrathful, so I deal extra damage.
Oh my gosh.
So
Oh,
it's-
there goes.
4 hits. And
What really stinks for lizards right now.
Wow.
So the other Vagabond has to go and clean.
yeah, that's bad.
Oh, that just literally gave the Ronin the
I
win.
have to go for those 3
Yeah.
to avoid the Ronin winning.
Yeah. North Abbot actually can get some
1, 2,
points
3.
here, which is nice.
Yeah. Aye. But I don't think that'll put me over the top. It's really.
Yeah, I mean that's gonna.
I'm quest locked here.
I feel so bad for North Abbot because I think North Abbot's gonna end up at like 28 and not be able to win. You know.
Draw a card, and I've done what I could.
Well, I was thinking Lizard was going to win their next turn. I don't know anymore.
Strange game.
They said strange game.
Yeah, just muttered
Oh
it
my
under his breath.
gosh.
Delayed it 1 more turn.
Wait till they hear this back.
So I will refresh my items. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Put my coins back. I will slip into this clearing. And then I will move with both my boots, 1, 2, into this clearing. All right.
They can get them all right because they can
And,
instigate.
Then I will battle
Yeah, they can instigate.
the rabbit gardens with my sword.
No.
No
How many
ambush.
points does that give?
Okay.
So
So that's one, two gardens.
What-
get
2
rid of
gardens
it.
dead, 3 points.
Because I only
Yep.
have I only have the one sword.
yeah, 2
Um,
gardens remove 3 points.
So actually, I think this is going to be it.
Oh my gosh, is North Abbot about to
for
win?
me.
Oh my gosh, yes. This is awesome. Instigate.
Wow.
You've got the win.
And then wow, I didn't do that math correctly. It looks like I won.
Yes. Yes.
With instigate.
And it's the last garden and 1 extra point
Wow.
But how?
What is this game?
with my torch.
Wow.
Special vagrant.
Wow.
Instigate for the win! Oh my
VB2
god!
win.
By surprise.
Oh my god!
Ah, I see. Okay.
We have 3 people
Don't make
moving
any
on.
rules errors there.
Nah, I think it's
I
fine.
think it's fine.
Okay. GG.
Well,
Wow!
Holy
Unexpected.
moly,
Ooh, I got a
I
payout.
did not expect that. I thought I was going for
Wow!
the Ronin from winning.
yeah, I couldn't win unless you left me those goblins, but
Wow!
Man, two.
Third seat, 1 win of the weekend.
Wow.
This was a very strange game. I felt like it was
Round 12. Holy shit.
stopping one person.
Vagrant win
It was more than
with instigate.
any other game.
Hero
I
of the
played.
people.
This was like
That's-
making
Amazing.
101. Yeah, constantly beating up the leader.
Oh, let me
I
go
think it's
congratulate
just
him.
the low reach and the rats never really got going with their
Yeah,
engine.
I screwed the beginning. That
I think that
extra.
counts. I don't think that counts as king making because king making is like when you decide who is going to win.
All right.
Yeah,
But in those last couple of turns, it was a bit of king making. We were constantly trying to extend the game.
well, extending. I think extending the game is fine. Just
Yeah.
it's
Yeah.
very different from. Oh, do I
Okay.
let the lizard win or do I let the vagabond win
Yeah.
or something else?
Yeah, so king making is not the right word, but kind of like hit the leader.
But yeah, bashing the leader is I think is the correct term.
Yeah.
Well, great game, everyone. That was maybe the most unique game of Root I've ever seen. That was really something. Congratulations to North Abbot for that thrilling finish. Thank you everyone for playing. That was very, very interesting. North Abbot, Steve H, and Kook, you will be advancing to round 3. DZT, I'm sorry to say that was your last game in this year's tournament, but thank you so much for competing up to this point.
Thanks. It was a good game. Good tournament. I will keep rooting for you.
Thank you.
Get it? Get it? Rudy?
I get it. But thank you, everyone. Thank you, everyone, for watching. We will see you tomorrow for our next game at noon Eastern time. So thanks a bunch, everyone, and catch you later.